Bang! Neeves Knives. I'm Jared, and we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Kara will be joining us here momentarily. Just so you guys know, the Gators are in stock, and there's a new version as well, a thumb stud version. The blade shape's a little bit different. Maybe here in a minute we'll check it out. You coming to grab the cup?
I am coming to grab the cup.
Grab this one too, fill that up. But we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna get right into it because I hate when people write something in a title and then don't get right to it and they, take forever. So what I'm talking about in the title of the video is what happened with yesterday's video. And I know it's probably not a big deal to you guys, but it's such a big deal to me. So I got to back up really quick. So you guys noticed I took down a video. I took down a video and I put a video back up, which was the same video, but I made some modifications. So what happened was I was supposed to post that video on the first, or a video, not saying that video, but a video. I was supposed to post a workshop video on the first. So on the first is still days away, right? So when I talked to Workshop and they asked me if I can have it up by Friday, that was 2 days. I had 2 days and I hadn't even started filming yet. And it was a video I wanted to put a lot of work into. And my plan was to start working on it like the next day. It was gonna take like 3-4 days to film and then, like a whole day to edit. So I wound up trying to cram like 5 days worth of work into 24 hours. Well, technically 48 hours. The first 24 hours, I did it, got it all, everything filmed, and it took me so long, and I had to scrap it all. I didn't like it. I was not happy with it. I was pissed, and I just didn't like it. So I scrapped it and said, all right, I'm starting from scratch. So I started from scratch. And, so now it's 24 hours later. It's the next day. I'm restarting early in the morning all the way till nighttime. And, busting my ass trying to get done, or not till nighttime, till later on in the afternoon, right before I got it uploaded. So I was like rushing really hard, super tired, and I wound up messing up the information on one thing in the video, but then I also, which was the biggest thing, was that part where it was like the breaking news. I was completely wrong about that, and it's completely my fault. I felt so stupid afterwards because it was just me being tired and rushing it in. So I wound up, after the video was completely done, I was done editing, everything was literally about to upload it, right? And then I thought about it, like, man, I should go check the TS Prof connection, right? And I did, and it fit. And I just said, okay, I'm going to record a little bit of B-roll, throw it in there. It works. But I didn't actually test it. And that was my fault. And it's just the stupidity of trying to rush and get something done. And since I didn't test it, it actually didn't work at all. So because I didn't want that to live on, right, of me being an idiot and adding something in a video that was untrue, and then also the kickback of the machine. The reason why I didn't realize the kickback of the machine was to spin the thing is because every knife I put in there spun just fine. Like, you didn't have to kick it back to spin it. So like, even up to, and I showed in the video, even up to like the 4Max spins just fine in it. So like, in order to need to kick it back to spin the arm, you need a big fucking knife. So, I never ran into that issue. Well, then I wound up realizing after it went up that, the kickback is just in case you have an XL knife, you can flip it. It's like, okay, that wasn't that big of a deal. I would have just left it. And you do have a way to take a clip out and also put words on the screen of an already edited video. That is one thing I can do. But I can't add anything. And I'm not even sure how good it is taking stuff out, because what winds up happening is when you take stuff out, the video crams together and then parts are not in the right place. Like, that's just the way it works. So I took it down, even though the fucking video was doing great, like so great. And the problem with that is people are thinking like, well, if you just take it down and re-upload it, you'll be able to put the two views together, right? No, that's not the way it works. When you take a video down, YouTube uses the steam that video has to basically interpret if they should share it, right? So all that steam got taken out. So the new video it's going slower than what the original one. The original one, everybody's clicking on it right away, right? Like 8,000 people or something like that clicking on it. So it was getting a lot of steam. So YouTube was about to share it with a whole bunch of people and it would have done really, really well. But instead, I had to take it down, and then I re-uploaded, and then this happened. So then I re-uploaded it, and the part one of the parts. So I took some stuff out and I added some stuff. One of the parts I added, YouTube glitched my video. So now my second upload has a glitch in it that there was absolutely content there. I can like go to the video right now and watch it. But on YouTube, there's a glitch. So, and it's 100% YouTube's fault, not even my own fault. And the crazy thing is I had already dealt with one issue uploading, and then that was the second time, got it up, and then that happened, and I couldn't take it back down because at that point it's like, man, I've already killed the video. I've already killed it. So it's like, if I take it down again and re-upload it. So we wound up doing the thing I just said a minute ago, how we can put words over the screen. We wound up doing that. But I still feel dumb as hell for what happened. But, I'm a man and I face up to it. And, I was definitely wrong. And I rushed into something, not that, and it's not Worksharp's fault for asking me to post early. It has nothing to do with them. It's not their fault whatsoever. I agreed to it. I'm just saying what happened and the reason why I was rushing and the reason why, like, my brain, like, considered something that wasn't even possible. And it's weird because, like, when I look at it now, I realize how dumb it was. Like, why would I ever think that? After you, after you get a little bit of rest or something, you're like, oh shit, I actually thought that would work. Like, what is wrong with me? But, it happens, so, and I definitely, you live, you learn. Yeah, that's true. You definitely do. And I'm going to keep it pushing. And, I obviously got to chalk it up as a loss. I hope the video over time winds up picking up steam over like a year, but I completely ruined its chances of doing good in the next, over the next month. But I'm just gonna keep it pushing. Like I said, they still got their views. So Worksharp's still gonna get, they still, because like the first, few hours it got good views. And then this, it's still getting decent views, but just nothing like it would have. Brian Kerr is a new member, man. Thank you for becoming a member. We do have a Bang Gang live tomorrow. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, Jeffrey. Yeah, it's definitely a human thing for sure. But I
Oh my gosh,
it doesn't stop me from being upset because it's like, what, right here, like this.
Saddle.
Let me toss this up in the air. So yeah, but it's like, because this is the thing, is that I am a sharpener, so I take it so seriously. So the last thing I would ever want to do is give false information or wrong information. But the worst part is that, or not the worst part. I was appreciative that Workshop wanted to include me, because you guys gotta understand how much balls it takes for a company like Workshop to send me their new sharpening system. You guys gotta understand, like, they're taking so many risks doing that. And I know that, because I know that if something isn't right, I'm gonna call it out. Like, it's just the way it is. So they have to be confident. And even when they're not confident, like, they, whatever, they still send it. So because they sent it, like, I appreciate that, because I do think, like, I'm one of the better people to send it to, because kind of like that one video where we were the research department, that company, what is it, Husk Knives, right? They're sending their knives all over to people that don't know nothing about knives, and it's so disingenuous, because those people they're not going to test knives. They don't know anything, and they're just getting paid to talk good about it. Why not send it to a knife guy, right? Same thing with Workshop. Like that, I would look at this the same way. If they sent it to a whole bunch of knife reviewers, right, that don't even sharpen, and like don't have like I have like 135 videos on sharpening. So it's like, it would be smart to send it to a sharpener, somebody who actually understands sharpening and does it all the time. But the thing is, though, like I said, though, that's where the risk comes in, because if you send it to a regular sharpener or just a regular knife reviewer, they're going to use it and they're going to talk good about it because, it works. Right. But they haven't compared it versus like 20 other systems, like I have. So it makes it to where, if it doesn't perform, it's going to shine bad on them, and it could possibly ruin their sales. Jim Miller, thank you for becoming a new member. You want to introduce yourself just in case if anybody came in that doesn't know you?
Hi, my name is Kara. I am
Lovely wife, Kara.
lovely wife Kara.
You see the sign in the
That's actually
back.
my legal first name, lovely hyphen wife.
The
hyphen
buffalo
Kara.
isn't my lovely wife, just so you guys know.
Yes, lovely wife Kara. Yep, I'm just here. I work on this channel if you don't know me, and I do behind the scenes stuff.
That kind of shit would have actually make me quit
What
YouTube.
are you talking about?
What happened yesterday?
Having to re-upload?
Yeah. That's
Meanwhile, I was just slaughtering cannibals, none the wiser that you were doing all that.
Yeah, it was late when I started doing that. It was like after 11 o'clock.
I didn't know that
because I realized like what happened was just after I got it up, I took a break. I rested because, like I said, it had been like, it had been a long time. So like I was just exhausted. So I took a break and then I checked on it.
I thought you had decided to start working on like new stuff since that video, not knowing we were doing it that day originally. I thought you had just decided like I'm gonna start doing other stuff because like
what
we
do you
had
mean?
not.
Oh, you're talking about that night?
Yeah, we had originally planned on doing this video at that time. We thought we were releasing it May 1st,
and I was backed up.
That I thought you just got a second wind and we're like, I'm just gonna do this. I had no idea.
Yeah,
that's what was going on.
Do you even sharpen bro shirt? No, but I need to get one.
Listen,
Kara, that's her department. That's research
about,
department.
Okay, listen, I've been talking about making a shirt that says, "Do you even freehand, bro?" But I don't know.
Why don't you, man?
Because you told me it would be offensive.
What?
You did.
No, I didn't. I never said that.
Mean.
You
did.
What's up, guys? I got my petrified fish. I never said that. Petrified fish stamp in the mail today. Grabbed one after seeing your video. Hell yeah. Well, oh yeah, you know what? I said I was going to show you guys this. So the gators are available right now. I got the link down in the description, so you guys can just use the Voss Steed link, but I will show it to you because there's a new version. I don't have the other version. I didn't even know there was going to be another version, but there is. And here, I'm going to show it to you guys. Let me take this out.
My mug is awesome.
You got a nice mug on you, girl.
It's a Starby mug.
All right, so you guys can see it right here. So this is the thumb stud version. It's a little bit. I mean,
what was that?
I don't know. We'll go back to it in a second. I got to find this damn knife. Hold on, so let me go like this. So here's the one, and then where is the other one?
Jared, did you see DLT had some various Hermans dropping next week?
Some what?
Hermans.
Why do I not see it in here? Do you have to pick a different one? I seen it on the other thing, so I don't know why I'm not seeing it right here. Let me just try this. It's Hermans? Would you say Hermans?
Hermans.
What's Hermans? Hermans what? Come on, you motherfucker.
What do you mean Elden Ring the sequel just released? Are you talking about
why is this doing this? I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what is going on. I'm just trying to get it to go over this way. Go. There we go. I don't know why it keeps doing that to me. No.
What are you trying to do?
This.
Now?
I'm just trying to click this shop.
Well, there are little linky thingies.
Oh my goodness.
Sweetheart.
Hang on.
You want to just?
I got it.
Okay. All right. Thought I could help.
You didn't.
You were struggling and clicking extra buttons.
You should have helped when I was struggling.
Listen.
So there it is. You guys can see it now.
So many commands into the computer with the 40 clicks you just did that I couldn't have helped if I wanted to.
So it has 154 cm blade steel.
Wow,
big.
It's so much bigger than it looks.
It's big. Yeah, it's a big knife.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting
it's over 9 inches. You guys can see it right there. But you guys can get to it using the link down in the description if you guys want to get one. I know a bunch of people that have gotten them are like excited about them. It is really cool. It's very well done.
I don't like this.
What?
This.
I don't understand what's that.
The lateness.
It's not late.
It's for me it is. I don't like it. It's a little late.
No.
It's a little late. I can have an opinion. Shit.
Well, it's not an opinion.
It's
a fact.
To me, it's late. I like it.
I mean, you can
earlier.
hit it right there, but all you gotta do is just like literally.
I know, but like I don't. I want to surpass the detent before that point. That's all I'm saying. Like I prefer it that way.
I have no problem getting past it, but I don't like late detents either. But the detent is really good on this.
Kara, did you see the urban EDC? Oh, your light went out. The urban.
It's dead.
The urban EDC. What? Techno 2. Oh, they did a Techno 2 thing. I bet that does look cool. Urban EDC always does a really good job with stuff like that. Urban EDC actually has a pretty decent niche for like small compact knives like the Techno 2, like the chunky kind of sheep's footy, like the sort of style that I like. They do a lot of that stuff.
Thank you, Dr. Kim. I appreciate it. Yeah, please hit the like button. I do appreciate it when you guys hit the like button. It helps me out in the algorithm. Scored a semi-custom mini FS. Damn, no shit. Should I go with 154 CM or pay 50 more bucks? 50 more bucks. No, because I thought it was CPM 154, not 154 CM. So if it was 154 CM, that's cool. I personally would pick 154 CM or 20 CV over CPM 154. Now, I know you're probably like, I thought CPM 154 was better than 154 CM. It is, but it's not in some ways. So it's better in it with toughness, because what it is, it's the powdered version of 154 CM. So you have 154 CM, and the powdered version makes it, because it's already a fine grained steel. So like when it's in powdered form, it's the structure of the steel is even more finer, right? So that's what increases its toughness. That's why any steel that's in its powdered form is going to be tougher, right, than its original form. Well, it also
is that because there's less porousness during the process of it forming into a blade?
Yeah. It's more dense. But the edge retention, and the edge retention goes up a little bit, right? A little tiny bit. It's still 154 CM, so the edge retention isn't going to go up that much, but it'll go up a little bit. But the problem I have with it for folding knives, right? It'd be cool for chef knives or possibly even outdoors knives and stuff. But for like pocket knives, I personally don't like it, because when you sharpen it, the grit in the edge, so like when you're sharpening in your like at a coarse or medium grit, it's much finer than most steels. So like it's 600 grit, just for an example. 600 grit on CPM 154 is like 1200 grit on any other steel. So by the time you get to 1200 grit, it's damn near polished and it gets slick. So now the edge, when you like when you're cutting, the edge will get very slick and slip out of things. But 154 CM does the same thing, but nowhere near to the level of CPM 154. So what happens is 154 CM, you can get between 600 and 1200 grit, and it's going to be very aggressive. It's going to be a badass edge. But with the CPM 154, it's just a lot finer, and it loses the teeth that you want.
Peter says, is it selfish if you know about a drop but you don't want to say anything to make your odds better? To answer your question, in my opinion, by definition, yeah, don't mind what I'm doing here. By definition, yeah, it technically is selfish.
You selfish bastard. Flanagan's a selfish bastard.
But if you know about the drop because of like some secret information that you obtained because you put some effort in and like it's something that you know about, then like I feel like that's your prerogative to have or to share the information. But if it's something that like people are gonna find out about in general and you're just like randomly trying not to say, like, that's kind of weird.
So I look at it different ways too. Like I personally could care less. Like if you want to keep something to your chest to give yourself better odds, good for you. Now, if there's something like that's dropping that there's going to be a ton of, then it really doesn't matter at that point. But I would say, if there's something that's out there that it's going to be very limited and it's going to sell out quick and you don't want to hurt your chances, it'd be kind of dumb to tell more people about it, right? I mean, just think about it. Like you actually want it and there's a limited amount of spots. You know about it. All these other people don't know about it, but if they do know about it, they'll ruin your chance for getting. You'd be dumb to say anything. But it does depend on the situation and what it's about. For me, it's in my best interest to tell you guys, right? So I'm different. So for me, like if I know about something, it's better for me to tell you guys. The Echo contoured scales are uncomfortable for my hand. I think I would prefer the flat scales. I've had that happen before, and usually it's not that way, though, Aaron. Normally, you would think that normally it always is. Normally, contoured is always more comfortable than flat scales, but I have had a few times where flat, like, just happen to be more comfortable because of the width. Just grab a knife for an example. The width of the knife, like, and this measurement, right? It's a perfect thickness. So when it's flat, it just winds up working out really good in the hand. So I could see that happening. I'll tell you what, man, the Echo button lock. I haven't tried the liner lock one, so I can't speak on it, but the button lock one is fire. I love it. It's one of the best knives of the year, or at least as far as budget knives. Landy says, I'm also waiting on that $1,500 Katsu still. Damn.
$1,500 Katsu?
What is the $1,500 Katsu?
I didn't even know they had a knife that was $1,500.
I'm trying to think. Is it the one with the zirconium? I didn't think it was that much money. I thought that was like $600, $600. Love y'all's videos. What steel would you recommend most for a fixed blade? Should you look at something harder or something a tad easier to sharpen?
Depends on what you want to do with it.
So I would say it depends on what type of fixed blade. So if you were saying like a fixed blade for chopping, then I would say go with something tough, 1095, even like 3V or something if you can do that. But your price range, is involved too. So like depending on how much you're willing to spend. But if you're wanting something like say a chef knife style, I would say AEBL or 14C28N. And even so, 14C28N for a lot of fixed blades is great because it's a steel that's super tough, takes a really good edge, holds really good edge, but it's still easy, very easy to sharpen. But yeah, it just depends. It depends on the size of a knife you're wanting because like my answer would be completely different for an EDC knife compared to a hard use like
Fixed blade.
right. Yeah, something you really want to beat on and chop with and baton with. My answer is going to be different than something you want as like an EDC tool because a lot of people these days are loving pocket EDC blades or pocket fixed blades. She's been loving them. She's been going crazy over them. She just ordered a custom knife. You want to show them?
I can show you what the scales look like.
Yeah.
Well, I could show you. Let's show them on here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Look at this fucking nest on my head, man. I just can't get it right tonight.
Yeah, 14C is great for folders too. Yeah, for sure. It's just that's why I always scream about it because it's a well-rounded steel for everything. It doesn't matter if it's a small knife, big knife, fixed blade, chef knife. It's great. It's just an all-around great steel. And guess what, guys? We might be seeing some 14C heat treated to 62 HRC coming soon. That I've never tested it over 60. I think yeah, about 60 is about the highest I've tested it. So I'm really interested in how it performs at 62 because it's such a tough steel. I don't imagine it'll be brittle, but it could. Maybe it'll be super brittle. I don't know. What's up, Southpaw? Why doesn't Kara have a Bark Rivers fixed blade?
I like Bark River. That's why. This way. Okay, this is the. Whoa.
You got it? Let me do it.
No, it freaked out. Okay, this is the style of the knife, like the template, if you will. But if you look at the actual scales here, mine is going to be. See this blue line right here in the middle of the scale? Mine has blue G10 at the butt. And then it has a stripe of pink and blue going in the middle. And then the top part is micarta that is like purple and green and blue. So it's kind of 3 sections like this. It has stripes like the middle of this, but the stripes are, like I said, a different color. They're like purple, green, blues, pinks, and stuff like that. Really beautiful. The 2 scales match up to where there is a stripe going around the outer edge of the scale. And I'm saying this right now as like a maybe, because I don't want to confirm anything until like it's a for sure, like in my hand sort of thing. But this maker here, Spalletta Infinity Knives, was kind enough after I asked for this custom make, which just FYI, he doesn't technically offer custom makes unless he like meets people. I happened to meet him at Blade Show, but he said, you could always ask. It doesn't hurt to ask. He typically has products for sale on his site and on his Instagram, like ready to go. But he did say that he would make us one to give to you guys, which would be really cool. I don't know if it's going to be that exact model in a different color or what the deal is, but you may be able to expect one of those in your future for a possible giveaway, probably for the members. Most likely is where I'll do it.
James K, yes, all 14C28N is Sandvik. Same with 13C27. That's a Sandvik steel, which is a good steel as well. Not much difference between the two. Obviously 14C would be considered a little bit better. Honestly, brand new Rockstead Higo 2 on NAF sale for $1,300. I also seen NAF sale. Shout out to nafsale.com. You guys can sell your knives there. They had an MSI there for $400, and I think that's a reasonable price. And because I seen a bunch of people saying, "Don't buy that knife for $400." Are you out of your mind? Do you know how hard that knife is to get right now? I paid like $325 for mine, and I had to go to Blade Show to get it. So think about the thousands of dollars it costed me to get mine, right? So $400, like to me, that's for somebody to get rid of it. Like I understand why somebody would say $400 because most likely if they didn't buy it like outright, like and just order it, because you could do that. if they had to go to Blade Show or something to get it, they spent more than the $325 it cost to get it. Now I do know that MSI is now $375 now. There you go. So now it's already down. So you guys can go and buy. And I know the price is higher than what you could get stock or table price. And if you're going to Blade Show in Atlanta, I would say, yeah, just hold off. Just hold off and buy one there for the 320, 325, or whatever the hell it is. After taxes, I don't even remember what it was, but it was a lot of money. But I understand why somebody would, especially if you're really wanting to get it. Kara says, give away 100 viewers. Enter chat. What does that mean?
It's a joke.
Okay.
Like if I say the word giveaway, a bunch of people are gonna come in.
Oh, I see. Loving my MSI, got it for $250. Yeah, that's what the stock. See, that's what I thought was weird, because when I walked up to the booth and they told me it was 3 something, I was kind of confused. Like, what? Like, I thought it was $250. You guys been announcing it as $250, but I figured maybe because of Blade Show costs or something. I don't know. He's got to pay his employees to sit there and sell them. I don't know. Maybe that's the reason why. And I wasn't bitching, so I paid it. But I also was told, this was the thing that made me pick the color I picked, was because they had the color I wanted, which was the black ones, but they said they had steel backspacers and they weren't going to be more affordable than the titanium backspacers. So it's like, so for the same price, I can get titanium backspacers or steel, like for the same price. Like, of course, give me the titanium. So small Sabenzas S45 with micarta in excellent condition for $365. That's a good deal. I want to reach out to Tim Reeves and see if he's willing to let me test his Magna Cut. But I think 64 to 65 HRC, man, I want to test that shit. But we do have some steel tests coming up very soon, and a bunch of other really good videos. We got a lot of great videos coming up, and there's going to be like probably 2 to 3 videos a week that I put extra work on and is really refined. I have an outline, and like it's done to a high level, and I'm hoping over time, with me doing those types of videos, that they just get better and better and better and better. And in 3 to 6 months, the videos are going to be so professional that I'll probably only do those videos. But right now, I still need to, throw in, just regular videos that are faster, because I'm not fast at it yet. I'm still, even though I'm really good at editing, and I'm actually a lot faster than you would think. Well, I don't know, maybe not than you guys would think, but faster than I would think a year ago that I am now. Like, I'm actually pretty good at it, but I'm gonna change my editing app so that I'm challenged a little bit more and I have more options. The day I can afford that kind of thing will be a good day. Save up, buddy. Save up. And you know what? You can afford it. All you got to do is break it down in 4 payments. Most of the companies allow you to pay it in 4 payments. I don't know what knife you're talking about right now. Hey, crispy donuts in the house.
Hey.
You guys hopefully you guys seen my video. I posted a video earlier with the crispy donut knife. Go and check that out. You can see their box in the thumbnail. So definitely go and check that out. But
when I was
thank you for joining.
when I was a kid, my brother used to call me Little Miss Pastry because I loved donuts so damn much. Donuts were my jam, man. I lived in a very healthy household, so like I very rarely got to eat stuff.
You weren't
like
allowed
that.
to eat donuts, were you?
So when I did, woo, I went in on them.
Yes, I did. I messed up. I explained it in the beginning. If you want to rewind it, I won't go too deep into it.
So Tittle told me you fucked up too.
Tittle fucked it up. No, I messed up in a video, and I explained it earlier. If you want to just rewind, just go straight back to the beginning. I started talking about it immediately as soon as we started.
Thought that the title meant that I left Jared?
None of them. Not one.
Because I would never do that.
No, because if I was gonna try to say that, I would have said it way differently. Nah, I messed up.
You would have said my lovely wife Kara.
I messed up and she's gone.
She's no longer lovely.
I want a divorce. Oh, there you go, Cue Ball. Thank you. Yes, 4 payments is the way to go, as long as you're not paying interest. PayPal offers 4 payments with 0 interest. Right? Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, try not to pay interest. But go ahead.
Fair.
What?
The word I hate that. The word afford, to be fair, doesn't mean that just because you can make payments that means you can afford it. In fact, a lot of times if you have to make payments on something, that actually means you can't afford it.
Or you're
But
just trying to.
it's doable. When the word afford gets thrown around, I'm kind of like, but that doesn't really mean you can afford it. Like that rocks that I got, Jared, absolutely 1,000 million billion% could not afford that knife, but I made it doable. But did we really have that money to spend? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But if you chunk things out in the right way, you can make it to where you don't feel the effects of it. But in reality, do we have $1,200 knife money? Absolutely not.
I would say
you have to.
I would say, well, and also another reason why is because it's not something that's an investment for the channel, really, because not that I can link them sometimes at Blade HQ, but they're rarely there. They're usually at places I can't link. Anyways, but no, making the payments, I don't think it's a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal.
You didn't say it was a big deal.
I'm not talking to you.
You looked at me.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. Rewind it. Replay.
I don't think it's a big deal. Yeah. I don't think it's a big deal to make payments, because I think sometimes you might think about it like, I want this really bad, but I have other, things I have to pay for too. And, I can't afford it, but instead of paying for it all at once, I'll just, divvy it out a little bit. What's up, AZ? Greetings, fellow knife people. Greetings to you. I'm going to do it, but if I spend 400 plus, I really want a Hinder over a Chris Reeves knives, I think.
I so agree with that. So agree. Wow, my hair already fell. I'm struggling.
Yeah, I would say you're going to get a better heat treatment with Chris Reeves knives, but if you're doing it for the action, the build quality, the fit, the finish, things like that, I can understand that. Chris Reeves, I think, is just as good. I just think because they use washers instead of bearings, it's very different. Yeah, you're talking about like a hard use knife versus a work knife / EDC knife, and then which is a great work knife, by the way.
Yeah.
But most people, or not most, but a lot of people really like bearings right now, and the Hinders offer bearings. Chris Reeves doesn't. I think if Chris Reeves, which I think it's kind of dumb Tim hasn't done this. I think it's crazy that he hasn't come out with a model or a version that uses bearings, because I think that's something that they could easily do. Like, it's not like they have to change much, right? They could easily make that happen. And man, can you imagine? I know they already sell really good, but do they though? Like, I know, okay, they do sell really good. I don't want to make it sound like they don't, and they do hold value really good. But there's a bunch of sites that always have them. It's not like they're like Hinders where they're always gone. Like, try to find a Hinder right now. It's gonna be tough. But you can find a Reeves really quick. I can find you a whole list of them right now.
What I need is a damn hairstylist.
Please explain Hinder knives more. You really dig them? So
not fanboy status.
I'm not fanboy status. I do like them. I have a few on my wall over there, so I love a certain few of them.
Have we ever actually purchased one ourselves?
Yeah,
we have.
There's one behind you I purchased.
Okay.
But what I don't like is their heat treats. I don't like that they are so. And this goes for any company that does this. I don't like that they're so stubborn about doing high HRC heat treats on thick fucking knives. It doesn't make sense, because you can't even use that. It's brittle, right? Like, your geometry stops it from being brittle. There's no way it can be brittle with the geometry you guys use, right? Super thick, robust, heavy duty geometry. Now, I understand the brain or the thought behind you want a tough steel, right? I understand that, but check this out. Why would you use certain steels, and why not just use a tough steel? Right. And then when you did use a tough steel, why wouldn't you run it the optimal range that even the inventor of the steel recommends? Why do you have to run it softer? And like, when I was at their booth and, I brought it up and I asked them the HRC on their Magna Cut from the knife I bought back there, they told me 59 to 60. And I said, why is it so soft? And dude said, well, it depends on who you ask. I said, who? Who are you at? Who says 59 to 60? I don't know who would say that. Like, I can understand maybe like if it's a fixed blade chopper or something, maybe, but 63 to 64 is what even Laren recommends. So, and especially for like a folding knife. Now, I understand you're trying to be a hard use folding knife, but it's already a tough steel. It's a very tough steel, and your geometry makes up for it. So even if it wasn't, put it this way, 20 CV, they've been using 20 CV for how long? That's not even a tough steel. So how many blades have come back snapped from a hinder? None. I can almost promise you none, because their geometry is so thick, right? So now you have a tougher steel. Why not run it at an optimal range? Because the more important part isn't going to be the toughness. It's going to be the edge retention, which is what's going to be sacrificed with the soft heat treat. And we've seen it because of the cut test. I mean, you can even see a couple of my cut tests, you know, the difference in the heat treats. Yeah, go ahead. Babe,
somebody a few comments back, which I don't see now, said something about you can get so much value or so much more value in a fixie, which I'm learning that is so true. Now, obviously, it's true, right? Because you're missing an entire mechanism. You're missing a lot more CNC work, a lot more effort in machining and planning that does not have to go into a fixed blade, that does go into a folder. So fixed blades by default should be cheaper. But like it's like way cheaper, especially if you find the right company. That company I just pulled up before, Sick Knives Split Infinity, that blade that I showed, it was, you know, altogether maybe 5 inches in length, if that, right? Small knife, but chunky and thick. Custom, fully handmade, like everything, $150. That's nuts. USA made, decent steels, decent handle materials, like all the stuff you expect. Again, I'm not dumb. I understand there's no folding mechanism there. So like there's a huge part of that that's missing. The investment in the CNC machine, the hardwares, all that stuff that's extra in the folder isn't there. But $150 is still cheap for that. For handmade fixed blade in the USA like that, like custom.
And yes, Todd, Magna Cut at 65 is still over twice as tough as 20 CV, and that's what I mean. Like it doesn't make sense. Oh,
no, you did.
So, controversial opinion. So we will talk about it, Mark.
Fixed blade.
But in my opinion, Chris Reeve knives are harder use knives than any hinder on bearings. There is hundreds of times more surface area contact. By the way, the blade and the handle assembly, with washers. So one, you can use washers with those. So they obviously have the tri-way pivot. So that's already not workable. But like, let's say the bearings versus the washers, I don't think it's still as hard of use. I promise you right now, I can literally do it right now. I can fucking baton with the Chris Reeve knives and it will fail. It will fail right in front of your eyes right now. I can spine whack it and it'll fail. Most will. They're designed to do that, while hinders won't. You could light duty baton with hinders. Another thing, I could pry with a hinder. I couldn't do that with a Chris Reeves. Chris Reeves does have a thick spine and it is durable. I'm not saying it's not robust. It's a tough work knife for sure, but it's not a prying geometry. It's a hollow grind, right? Thick spine, but it does have a hollow grind that's relatively thin. Hinders are flat grinds, thick spines, thick edges, thick geometry. So just by nature, that's going to be a thicker grind. Now you could say harder use as far as like taking dirt, but even in that case, and I'm going to do a test on this because back in the day, you guys can go watch his video. Nero Knives did a test versus bearings, phosphor bronze washers, and Teflon. And guess what was the conclusion? Bearings, but basically what he did was he took the 3 knives, put them in dirt and like grime and shit, shook them all around, got them all messed up, and then seeing which one would be still operable, and then if not operable, could you just rinse it out? And the bearings won against the phosphor bronze washers. Now the Teflon won everything. So the Teflon was number 1, bearings was number 2, phosphor bronze was number 3, because the knife was inoperable from it was a Chris Reeve knives that he used too, was inoperable until you took the knife completely apart and cleaned it out. With the bearings, you could just run it under hot water and rinse it out and then, blow it out or whatever.
You gonna ever read this?
Yes, I'm reading it right now. Sorry.
Forever.
James K gifted 5 memberships, guys. I appreciate all the donations. Thank you, James, so much. He's a huge supporter of the channel and we greatly appreciate it. Especially with us changing wait. What?
There's 2 more.
Oh, holy cow. James K with another 5 members. So now we have 10 new members. 15. And you know what?
Or I think I'm doing that right. I think there's 15.
15. There's 5 and 5.
No. Those are separate though. I scrolled.
I know.
Back.
So
there was 5 and 5 and the other 5.
Oh, so 10? So 15.
I think.
Thank you, James. I do appreciate it. And hey, everybody who winds up getting those memberships, tomorrow we have a members live.
Maybe it was just 10.
Maybe it was just 10. James, you just got a free belt.
They slapped up weird in the thing.
It's all right. We love the pup. So,
Jesus, you're dying over
Jeffrey.
here. What's wrong, Dennis? What's going on?
But let me just say this really quick. Tomorrow we have the Bag Gang live at 12:15. So 12:15 Central Time. So if you are a member or if you become a member, we will have a live sharpening so we can talk knife sharpening. And I'm not sure what type of sharpening we're gonna do tomorrow. If you have any requests from any of the members, spit it out. We can do it, whether it's freehand, fixed angled system, doesn't matter. But we will be doing that tomorrow. Jeffrey Dawson says MagnaCut doesn't make sense to these legacy makers. I'm not sure of any other steel that gets tougher at a higher HRC like MagnaCut. It's hard, pun intended, for them to wrap their heads around. Right, exactly, because most steels, the harder it gets, the more brittle it gets. And with MagnaCut, the harder it gets, the tougher it gets. Now, there's a level of which it exceeds that, and it stops getting tough, and it loses toughness. But yeah, it's hard for people to wrap their heads around that. James K., another 5 memberships. Thank you, man.
I'm shining without Daniel here.
Shining, yeah. Thank you, man, so much. And shout out to all the new members. And we will see you guys tomorrow if you guys are able to show up. You guys can always watch it later, though. Watch
Dennis,
it. You guys always run it
you
back.
guys should all know by now that Jared has us about 50 comments behind the norm.
No,
I scrolled you down.
No, caught up.
I did that.
No,
I reached over and did that.
No. 5160. Do I have some 5160? I got to look through this thing. I don't know if I have any.
I want to do 1810. Do you remember what that is from the research department?
Yeah, but we're not doing 1810.
Why?
Because it's pot steel.
I'll bring down a pot. You can sharpen a pot. That way, when I crack an egg on it, it's really easy. Yo, why is that not a thing?
What?
It's such a good invention. Oh my god!
What?
If you had a pan with one edge on it that was not sharp, but like much thinner than the rest, just one part, like a section this wide for cracking an egg right on a pan. Because sometimes the pan edges are a little fat and it cracks your egg in a very shattery way.
Because you have the edge of the pan.
No, I know, but sometimes the edge of the pan. I have pans upstairs that I don't like cracking eggs on because the edge is too thick and it really shatters the egg, and you have a much more likelihood for it to spider crack and get pieces of shell. If it's a nice thin edge, you get a nice clean crack. And I'm just saying, just like a 2-inch section.
Maybe somebody will buy it.
Yo,
face it, Jared. You're always behind the chat.
You need to face the truth, sweetheart.
Just face it.
Need to face it.
I have a Manix 2 in hand. Blades and EDC sent me one to check out. So much better than the XL. Really? I personally prefer the X. I like them both. I'm not going to say that. I probably prefer the XL the most, just because, it's more ergonomic. I love that knife so much, but I like them both. It doesn't really matter to me.
Jared has a second, or Jared's main screen and comments are both on the same screen. It's just like he just like wants to read everybody, so he gets behind. It's not that he doesn't like see.
Yeah, I'm trying to do my job here, guys. I'm trying to read everybody's comments. But go ahead.
Real quick, two things. One, you had mentioned to some people that you would use the new sharpener tomorrow. Are you still doing that?
What?
You had mentioned to some people that you were going to use the new sharpener tomorrow. Are you still doing that?
I can.
Okay, because some people,
if they want,
some people are also asking, is it fixed or freehand tomorrow? Or not?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Freehand or yeah, no, I said that right. Fixed or freehand.
It doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. We can do freehand or we can do fixed angles.
We'll
do a vote when we do it. Yeah, we'll do a vote. Pick me up a Mordax.
Picks you up some Mordax.
Picks you up a Mordax. I got a. Oh, it's not in here. It's out there. I got a Mordax out there, but you might be able to get one if you come to Blade Show. Any thoughts on the new Chavez? Yes, lots of thoughts, Tim. I really, really want one. That's what I think. Because you guys already know the only Kickstop I have in the collection is the F22, which is one of my favorite knives of 2023. Oh, it's so good. But all Kickstops that I've tried have all been exceptional. I think it's the best way to probably do a flipper tab system, possibly even better than a detent nub. And my dream is a detent nub on a Kickstop. But the Chavez looks badass with the Kickstop. I want to get one. I think I tried it at Blade Show, Texas. We tried that, right? Because we went to the Chavez booth. I think we did.
I did go to the Chavez booth because I got a sweater from them. And also, I wasn't really vibing with whatever that new knife was they had. I felt like the frame line.
That wasn't the one we're talking about.
Okay, because I felt, well, no, you know which one I'm talking about? I'm talking about that smaller one, the tack.
Yeah, you're talking about a mini one.
No, the tack.
Oh, right? Yeah.
I want to like that knife so much, but like, I don't really like like the choil's really good for sharpening, but like I want to be able to put my finger in. It's not really a finger choil. I want it to be, but it's not. I also don't really like the frame lock on some of the Chavez knives. I feel like it's almost too sturdy, like to move over. It almost like gives me that vibe of like when you have a liner that's like too hard to push over. It's sort of almost like, for me, and I'm a girl, so it's different, but it almost feels too strong.
Aaron says you don't want to crack on a corner. You want to crack on a flat surface. That's the way to do it. Where the fuck is Maurice? Maurice had to take a break.
Just like smash it on the counter. Just that's what
use
I'm
your
picturing.
head. Okay, people, come on. We should always ask him to freehand. Anyone that buys a fixed can get a sharp edge. Let's not spend an hour watching him do that. We could watch sharpening masterclass. You know what?
Yo, we should be calling the lives that sharpening masterclass.
Yeah,
because I'm the only one in this family that's
you just gave us a title for tomorrow.
I'm the only one in this family that's an official master of something, so it would probably make Jared feel a lot better if he could have a
if I could be a master of something.
Yeah, you could be a sharpening master. We'll certify you, make you a certificate.
No jokes, guys. But what I would say to that is that yes, anybody can get a sharp edge with a fixed angle system, but you would be surprised. So out of all knives that have came to me damaged to be fixed, most of them have come from people fucking up on a fixed angled system, not freehand. So it is very easy to ruin a knife freehand, or sorry, fixed angle, not freehand, fixed angled. Also, there's techniques and tips and tricks that and that's why I'm going to make a full video on tips and tricks of fixed angled systems, because there are just little tricks that you learn after having a fixed angle system for a long time. But when you just get one, you're going to do these things wrong, and you will 100% like not get as good of an edge as other people. And you'll be looking at your edge like, why does mine look like shit? I did everything that they did. So yeah, I think there's still a lot that can be learned on a fixed angle system.
Make sure you read that comment with the purple one.
This one? Yeah. Thinking about renewing our vows. Vows what?
Your vows.
I know.
Oh,
I know,
okay. I thought you were confused.
Yeah. What wedding ring steel would you recommend for a cheating spouse? Go with Timascus.
Why?
Mocha tie. Jared.
For a cheating spouse?
Yeah.
I would go with this lovely rock that they call
go fuck yourself.
It's called cubic zirconium. It's beautiful. I would just get that.
Fake diamonds?
No, they're pretty.
Jared, don't you think...
That's not a metal, though.
Oh, you're talking... Wait, hold on. Are we talking about from a cheating spouse? Like, so you're getting a ring for the person that cheated on you? Or you're the cheater? I was taking this like, you're the cheater. What ring would you
get for a cheating spouse?
For a cheating spouse, a boot in the ass.
That's why I said that.
Get rid of that. Yeah. Jared.
The invisible kind.
Yeah, the invisible kind. I wouldn't get one at all. Jared, don't you think bearings compromise the side-to-side strength of the pivot? No, I don't. So it depends. So like with some of my hinders, I swapped out their bearings because theirs are steel with brass caged. I think, wait, maybe it's just steel cage. Anyways, they're steel bearings. So I swapped them out for phosphor bronze, like the thick phosphor bronze, hand flattened washers that have the ceramic bearings. Actually, grab that right there. Grab that right there, right behind you.
What, this?
No. The bearings right there on the back.
Oh, I have to get up.
So I try to swap out, like if I want pivot stability, then this is what I swap to. I swap to bearings like this. These are thick boy bearings. And you see how many there's a bunch of balls there, so you're going to have more surface area there, right? That's going to be damn near as strong, right? So now you could go even like there's so many different kinds of bearings you could get. And when you get these kind, it's going to give you a lot more pivot stability. Now with pivot stability, as long as with the bearings, as long as it's machined good and the bearings are all making contact, which you can see if that's happening, because you'll see the nice circle and everything. As long as that's happening, properly, your pivot stability should be great with bearings. Because have you ever tried to shatter? Do yourself a favor one day. Take a ceramic bearing with some needle nose pliers and do your fucking damnedest to break it. Try it. You won't. You will not break it. It will just sit there. I think, like if it was maybe some cheap shit, maybe you could break it, but for the most part, you're not going to break it. They are incredibly hard.
Super chat.
So, no, I don't think it's that big
Oh,
of a deal.
hi, Daniel.
I do think the biggest thing is that, like sand and grit can get in there, but the beautiful thing is you can rinse it out. And what are we doing with our knives, our folding knives, that's going to be that big of a deal? Now, don't get me wrong. I would say, like, yes, if it's a camping knife or something like that, Teflon is going to be the way to go, right? Or if it's like a work knife, something for a job site, Teflon. Get Teflon. Don't even get phosphor bronze. But phosphor bronze is also cool, but if you get sand in it, you're going to take it apart. Custom EDC knives with the 2 bones. Hey, everyone. How is it going? We got your knife in the mail. So just so you know, we did get it. He got some new concrete swimming shoes. Awesome video earlier, man. 5 badass blades, especially that donut knife. Yeah, they're actually here in the chat with us. There we go, right there. Crispy donut community. Sharpen the Salem. Just kidding. Ozark Trail makes a great knife for learning to sharpen. No, I would say stay away from Ozark Trails. I would say learn on something like a Civivi, a Sen Cut. And I say that just because they have a decent steel that's heat treated well, because what you don't want to do, and I'm not saying Ozark Trails, I'm not speaking about them badly. I don't want to say anything bad about them, but knives like M-Tech and like gas station style knives, you don't want to practice on them because sometimes they're not heat treated, or they're super soft, and you will be pissed. You'll be like, why can't I get this sharp, or why can't I get the burr to come off?
I actually
and
remember
it's like
doing that with
Play-Doh.
old school Ethan Grow, like attempting to sharpen it, and it didn't work. Hey, really bad. Can you play
go
Crispy Donuts thing again?
Yeah.
Okay, because I need to tell them something. I've got to say this. I feel like with the fact that all the logos on Instagram and all these places are circles, that you guys are heavily missing the fact that you could make a perfect donut shape in that circle logo space. I think that would be so cute. Don't you? It's a perfect circle.
Yeah.
You can make a donut and have a knife just right in the middle
I almost
of it.
thought they were selling pharmaceutical
because they're the CDC. Yeah.
Pharmaceuticals. Maurice found a new penguin. Give him some time to find some. Yeah, there you go. Now, he said he had to kick back for a little bit, which I understand. We all got to sometimes. Every time I tried freehand, I got scratches on the blade, whether to be waterstones or diamonds. Really makes me not want to mess up more knives. So, yeah, I would say you do a bead or do a knife that you don't care about scratching. What?
I have another invention. Can I tell you it?
Can I finish what I'm saying to them?
Yeah, but it's really good. It has
Okay,
to do
so
with
hold
this.
up.
Okay, it's so good. Though.
So I would say, like, usually with diamonds, if the plate is broken in, then it should be fine, or use a natural stone. But I would recommend diamonds over using a natural stone, because then you can focus on sharpening rather than the stone. With any type of water stones or anything like that, you're really focusing on the stone and everything. Just get a diamond plate, make sure it's broken in, and if you have to get a new one, you can manually break it in, or just don't worry about the scratches on the blade. But for the most part, you should be fine as long as you don't lower your angle back, right? As long as you can hold your angle. But I have hundreds of videos on holding your angle and how to properly, hold it and get it across. So watch my videos and then do exactly what I'm saying, and you'll be able to get a sharp edge. You just have to take your time, be patient, and do as you're told. I'm just joking. Go ahead.
Okay, great idea. And I want to know, like, this is sincere, because I always be saying stupid ideas, but I want to know if any of you guys truly, in all seriousness, would buy this. If I made like a set of 5, okay? And basically what it is it's like a very well heat treated, whatever a good sharpener like Jared or somebody else would recommend as being like the best steel to practice on, or a couple of the best steels to practice on. And all it is a set of 5 blades, okay, that are ready to go for sharpening. They don't have anything but the blade and like a really, really bare bones handle, right? It's not a folder. It's all set up and ready to go. And the only purpose for buying these blades is to learn how to sharpen on them. And they come in a pack of 5. Would anybody buy that? I feel like that should exist. Nobody wants to spend, like, even if you spent $50 on a pack of 5 of these steel testy knives to sharpen, right? Because you're buying them for the intention of potentially ruining them and knowing that they're not real carryable knives, you might want them. And then basically what it would be is like a cheap like not cheap as
But
in
people are
quality,
just
but
gonna
cheap
do-
price. Hold on, version where if you do sharpen it, you do sharpen it well. You can slap some paracord around the handle and use it if you want to. But the only intention of it is sharpening. It makes you feel better because you don't feel like you're ruining a thing that you actually.
People
like.
are usually gonna do that with a kitchen knife.
I'm
That's what
just
they'll start with.
curious if anybody would be like, yeah, I would so buy that.
Probably not, because there's chef knives. There's so many different knives, so many different
But
crap
people
knives.
don't
You
want
can
to
go.
ruin the thing that like has another use.
I'm saying it's already fucked because it's been in your
Well,
drawer
I think
banging
people would
around,
buy
and
it.
it's so damn dull. What's the worst thing that could happen?
You just shot
Right?
my heart apart.
I'm sorry, baby.
You shattered it.
My Quiet Carry 9 and Nimble X are much more solid left to right than most of my spider codes with washers. Yeah, I agree. I have knives that have washers that are nearly impossible to get the play out, and I have knives on bearings that are so solid you can't muscle any play. It's just, think about it. It's just how much of the surface area is being contacted. Yes, there's gaps in between the bearings, but it's still two extremely hard areas. Like, think about cars, roll on, like, so many things roll on bearings that it's insane to think that a fucking knife can't be strong enough. Those bearings are very, very strong, very, very durable. And I would say with washers, the problem with the washers is in order to get like high levels of tightness, then you're going to be sacrificing the action. And with bearings, you can get that high level of pivot tightness, right, without sacrificing the action. That's the beautiful thing. And that's why I recommend with some companies, like, if you're going to use this type of locking system, you have to use bearings, right? Just because then you're getting the most out of that locking system.
You get the bell for me?
Not saying that washers don't have a place. I love washer knives too. I have tons of them. And I love Teflon washers. Hit the bell.
Yeah. Daniel Cab with the 10 gifted member.
Another 10. Holy cow.
Wait, did you already read that?
No.
Oh, okay. You said another. So
well, I'm saying we have, because we have other members from James K.
Oh, yeah. This is from Daniel, though. Thank you so much,
Daniel. Thank you so much. And yeah, it is another because he's gifted a lot.
I know,
so
but I was just making sure I wasn't double reading it, whatever. Not that it would matter if I did, but we also have Allie. Sorry, I always say Allie. Alice from Alicord, member for 8 months. Thank you for the 8 months. And she says, "Who got the semi-custom mini FSD? I have a question for you. Does anybody have that? And if so, she's got a question. Do you have it? I don't even know what that is.
I'm sorry, what?
The mini FSD?
No, I don't have one. I tried the big one. I did a review on it. It kept failing on me. But not because the lock was failing, by the way. It was because I kept hitting it. So it's not because of the lock. It's because just the position of it. But it might be completely different in your hands. So don't think anything of it. It's just my hands. I've had bearings make indents in the bearing race from cranking on it too much. It turned, ruining the smoothness of the knife. I've had that happen too. But that's why you don't do that, right? You don't crank your pivot down so damn tight that it leaves dents. And then also another thing is, depending on, like, usually, Poncho, that happens on titanium that's not hardened. That usually doesn't happen on steel. Like if you look at Tucson's washers, right? They put 2 hardened steel washers on both sides with a track in it. So the bearings already have a race, right? So they can't really fuck it up. Even like other companies, they put a little metal washer on both sides for it to spin around. That's typically what you want to see. You don't typically want to see it spinning on titanium. Now, I've seen it spin on titanium and it'd be just fine, but that can happen where it can dent it because titanium is so much softer than ceramic. But yeah, and if you're prying with it and things like that, and it's on the titanium, then you could get that chance. But with the steel, it shouldn't happen. Go ahead.
Hit the bell. Scroll down and pull up the super chat from Ahmed. Okay, Ahmed, thank you very much for the 2 bones. What is the best way to break in diamond
Okay,
stones?
so personally, I would say don't and just use them. But if you really want to, because say you got it and you don't, whatever knife you're sharpening, you don't happen to want one of the diamonds to fly off and scratch it, use an aluminum oxide stone. So get like a Nagura stone. That's one thing you can use. They're super soft. A Nagura stone or any sort of aluminum oxide. If you have a Lansky system with aluminum oxide stones, if you have an Arkansas stone, anything like that, as long as it's not a hard Arkansas, use something like where it's like a softer type of stone, water stones, Japanese stones, natural stones, aluminum oxide, India stones, anything like that you can break. So all you do is just take it, put some water on it, and rub the stone around on the diamond surface, and just rub it around for like 30 seconds, rinse it off. It'll be broken in. That'll knock off any diamonds that are going to fly off from your steel.
Um, there was a thing I needed to say.
The Kaiser Cormorant Fat Nebula Carbon or Titanium. The Kaiser Cormorant Fat Nebula Carbon or Titanium. I would say titanium. In Holland, 209 and 179 euros.
What?
I need advice what to buy. I really like this knife. I would go with the titanium one. The titanium one has, so personally for me, I have basically all the ones you've mentioned pretty much. I don't know if I have the Nebula one. But I have a bunch of them, and the titanium one's my favorite. It feels a little bit more solid, a little bit more robust. You feel a little bit better about the price because it's titanium. But they're all awesome though, as long as it's not the G10 one. Was your American Blade Works Model 2 a prototype or early production version? I ordered one yesterday and saw your video today where the lock failed. So I don't know. I think it was just early production because he sent it to me. So he did send it to me. And I know he was selling a whole bunch of them on Friday. So I'm guessing it just came from the first batch. Now, be clear, when you get yours, Jeffrey, you probably will run into the same issue. Let it break in. Use it just like you would any knife. Don't sit there and keep checking it and checking it. I kept doing that because I'm doing a video, but if I wasn't doing a video, I would not have kept doing that. I would have literally just used it and eventually that'll come out. Now, say in 3 weeks or a month, let's say a month. Say a month, you've carried it, you've used it, you've flicked it a couple thousand times, and now you check it and now it happens, then yes, then you can maybe address it. And there's a few different ways you can address it. One, you can adjust the lock bar tension. Number two, you can just send it in, right? He'll fix it. But number three, like for me, what I would do is I would just take it apart and I'd take a little piece of sandpaper and I'd rough up the lock bar. That's it. Rough up the lock face, and then it'll cause a little bit of a grittiness. So it when the lock bar goes over on top of the lock bar or the other way around, whatever, it's going to have grippiness because of the sandpaper scratches. Because sometimes what happens is the surface just gets too polished. And so when the two areas connect, there's nothing like stopping it from slipping because there's no grit in between there. Now, throwing a little tiny bit of grit, you don't want to go too coarse because too coarse will make it stick. But if you just lightly do it, it'll just create that little bit of friction for when the pressure hits it, it won't just slip. It'll have a little bit, it'll have some friction there. So it's easy to fix. It really is. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. Now, I have had some that I fixed and it wouldn't go away and wouldn't go away, wouldn't go away. And that had to do with the lock face geometry. And in that case, it's a lot more tough. But in this case, I don't think it's the lock face geometry. I think it's just a slick surface. Because you can see the lock face geometry looks really good. It does. It's just the surface looks like it's just refined a little too much. That's it.
Whatchamacallit, I was going to say, oh yeah, somebody asked, I'm sorry, I don't remember who, somebody asked about what we thought about Ganzo Firebird. We've always stuck up for Ganzo. I think one of the biggest things that I've always thought about in the realm of knife reviewing is never review a knife for what it isn't. So sometimes you'll see on a channel, somebody will take something like a Ganzo, right? And they'll be like, this thing doesn't V-cut a log and I can't pry my car tire off with it. And it's just like, not really what the thing is intended for. Clearly, they're targeting a market of just plain EDC things. They're trying to go based off of like typical designs, really classic looking designs and things like that.
I don't like that part though.
I think that for what they are, which is just like very, very, very affordable, cheap knives, and to me they're surpassing the line of quality versus material. So like, to me, the price that you're paying for what you are getting is good. Are you getting the best knife in the world? No, but you're not paying for one either. So I think they do a good job. I think they, for the most part, have pushed away from looking too much like other designs as they've been accused of before.
Yeah.
And they slap their own name all over the crap. I don't know.
I don't like that they steal designs. I do not
Do
like.
they really though? Like for real? Like now, this day and age?
They still make them. So
but I thought that was like an old thing. I didn't think they really
it's an old thing. They haven't came out with any new ones. So they haven't came out with any new stolen designs. So like the past like 5 years, they've done their own designs, but they still make and sell, unless if they're just stocked that many. But so I don't like that. I do appreciate that they brand their name all over it so much, and they change the locking mechanism. So you'll never think it's the knife they copied. So like say if they do a Spyderco, they'll put a crossbar lock on it as if any Spyderco has a crossbar lock, right? And they'll stamp Ganzo right on the side of it. But instead of those knives, I would say stay away from those knives just because they're copies. Go for their original designs. Their original designs are great.
So you're talking about Firebird. Ganzo Firebird. Those are the ones that are more original.
They have Firebird ones that are designed after the Ritter, Hogue Ritter, and all that stuff. But the Firebird lines that are their own designs, they do a really good job on. I would say it's the best $30 you could spend on a knife. If you only have about $30, that's almost always what I'll recommend. There's a couple other companies I would recommend too, but Ganzo does an incredible job for the money. All right.
Scroll a little bit.
Weekend Jump says it's a kit, guys. Put it in Neeves' leather man bag and include sharpening instructions. Huckberry will sell it to dude with man buns who do yoga.
You know, like that type of guy, like the man bun guy.
Yeah.
He totally would want a leather EDC kit with like a pre-made sharpening kit that he never opens, but he always has it.
Yeah. I mean, good for him though, right? Alice, thank you for the 2 bones. Got the Model 2 on 419. No issues with lock failure. Awesome. There you go. Very cool. Yeah, so I dealt with this before with them with the first knife I tried, and I fixed it. I sent it in, and then he fixed it and he sent it back, and I think it still had a little bit of an issue or something like that. I don't know. I wound up fixing it though, and it was fine. Then the second one I got, I have pivot lash, so it's not, the lock bar's fine. The lock bar's super solid, but there's movement in the pivot a little bit. I never sent it in. I could have. I never did. I could still. I'm sure I'd still fix it. I just didn't. It's not that serious, and it has no chance of failing or anything. I can just feel it. But with this new one though, it's slipping very easily. So, you know, it happens, you know, it happens. These are mid-tech knives. Shit happens. He'll deal with it. It's not a big deal. Anybody who orders one, don't even think about that. I had to call it out because it's my video and it's what happened to me. But don't let my experience make you feel any sort of way about your knife. He will fucking deal with it. And it's something that can be fixed.
Yes. I also was like, Jeff literally starts to try to fail his model after watching Jared's video.
Bam, bam,
He's
bam.
Like, why don't you answer Rob there? He's asking you a question.
Okay, let me just answer this. Jared, I'm thinking about buying a Rockstead shin, and I want to know how you shop your Rockstead. Do you use denim like they recommend, and what kind of compound do you use? So that's what you want to do, is strap it. So yeah, you want to use denim, and then you want to don't use diamond, use aluminum oxide. So you want to use like they recommend a certain kind. I forget the name of the stuff. You can look it up. They have a certain type that they recommend, but what you can get is get like a 1 micron, not maybe even higher than that, maybe like a 1/4 micron stropping compound, but make sure it's aluminum oxide, because the diamonds will scratch the surface a little bit more. So make sure it's aluminum oxide. Take the denim, wrap it around a 2x4 nice and tight, and then cover it with the stropping compound and go to town.
Real quick, do you want
answer Rob first? Rob, what would be the best way to support your fantastic channel, and how do I do that? The best way is through super chats or through the memberships. I would say Patreon, but Patreon takes so much money from us, and that's more for you guys. That's more for you guys. We do giveaways on there, but we're talking about closing it down at some point, possibly, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see after this next giveaway, because we got to give away the MSI. or Stitch, one of the two, whichever one you guys pick.
If we do, we would just be moving that service kind of.
Yeah,
over
we
to
would
the
just be moving it. We're
memberships.
not going to like stop doing giveaways. We're just going to move it over to the
To
memberships
members.
and tell everybody who's a Patreon, just go over there. But if you're still a Patreon, stay a Patreon because we still have more giveaways. It's not like we're stopping tomorrow or anything. I'm just thinking about closing it up after a few more months, meshing it all together. Yeah. That might be at the end of the year or something. But the best way is through super chats, through the memberships, and hitting the like button, commenting, and watching the content. Now, the next way to really support is to click on my ads. So you don't have to buy anything, you don't have to do anything, but when you see a commercial on the videos, I don't know what commercials are on there. So I understand if there's some really shitty ones you don't want to click on because you don't want to support their whatever. But when you see certain ads, if you watch them for more than 30 seconds, I get a kickback. If you click on them, I get a kickback. If you skip them, I don't. So, just saying. So anybody who wants to support and doesn't have money, you can always just click on some ads. You don't have to buy nothing. Just joined. What's up with the video title here, bro?
We should do a quick TLDR.
What the fuck does that mean? TLDR?
Like a summary.
So you break it down?
Yeah.
So I did it in the beginning of the video. I'll do it again for people. How many people are in here?
181.
Okay, so I said it right when we started the video, and I like to do it like that because I hate when people have like a title of a video, especially on a live, and then they start and it takes them 45 minutes to get to the subject that they named the video. So I like to just do it right off the bat, and I try to do that as much as possible, and I need to do better with that in the lives, and that's what I did in this video. But basically all I was just talking about was and just rewind back because I'm gonna summarize it really quick, but I went into great details in the other one. I had a short timeline on posting a video, and I wound up putting bad information in the video. I wound up having to take it down, and this was supposed to be a really, really good video, and I wound up having to basically screw the video over. So I basically shot the video. So there's no way it's going to be able to pick up as much steam as it had the potential to now. And when I re-uploaded it, then YouTube had a glitch, but that's not that big of a deal. The big deal is the information I put in the video was wrong and it wasn't correct. It wasn't right. And I shouldn't have put it in there. I felt very stupid. Just rewind back to the beginning and watch it. And I go into great detail about it, but that's basically what happened. And it's my fault. I guess I just got caught lacking. Run it over with the truck. My ritter never minded being under the rubber of the F-150. Fell off my truck and found it open and unscathed in the street hours later. I've had that happen with even cheap knives though, man. I've put some cheap knives. When I think about some of the abuse, I used to put some like old Smith & Wesson knives through. Don't get me wrong, I've broken more of those than anything. But some of them would hold up pretty good. Most of them wouldn't, though. Thank you, Dan. I do appreciate all the support. Thank you, guys. Don't do Patreon. Giveaway anyways are not what they were used to be. Become a member of SAP. Thank you, Dennis. I do appreciate that. Giveaways anyway are not what they... Wow. I don't know what that means because technically we give away. If you guys knew, I don't think you guys understand how much money in giveaways we do. We lose money every month on Patreon. Yeah. We've never, ever made $1 on Patreon.
Yeah, when I ran the numbers, I believe it was in the negative.
Oh, way in the negative. Not even close. Thousands of dollars negative.
I like doing it though.
We've literally given up thousands of dollars in knives when we've only made like $300-400.
But I think if we move,
so let's be fucking clear. It's great for you guys.
I think if we moved it over to the members, that wouldn't be the case, only because YouTube is the fees are less over here.
Yeah, right. It's
Patreon takes a lot.
Yeah.
And then the taxes.
YouTube takes 30%.
About 33% of what we make is automatically taxed. See, there's a lot of stupid boring.
Yeah, you got to pay taxes on it. Plus, they take like 35-40% from Patreon. Here on YouTube, they take 30%. I didn't know that earlier. I don't know what that means. Please explain what I mean. Dennis, I guess he wants you to explain what he meant.
Like, I think I took it like he just meant like, who really cares about giveaways? Become a member. Like, giveaways aren't even what they used to be. Come over here. He's not saying
I get it, Dennis. I get it, Dennis. But you know what? Just so you guys do know too, we do giveaways on the members. the members
Yeah,
too.
it's not like a routine, like every month, like
Yeah,
something,
right,
but
right,
we
right.
do them. And that's why I think it would just be better to combine it, because then the members would get more of a.
Thank you, Mark. I do
Wait,
appreciate the
Maurice is
support.
here? For real?
Maurice is here? No, where?
He is!
Holy
Yo,
cow.
free bell.
Or
Free bell.
somebody's just pretending to be
Okay, but
Maurice.
come on, just give me a free bell. Maurice, if that's
Shout
really
out to
you,
Maurice
so
in the
happy
house.
to see you. We've talked about you like almost every live. Waiting.
Yeah, shout out to you, man. Happy to see you. People were talking about you earlier. I
Yeah.
said that you
Almost every live people have.
yeah. Civivi Vexer in D2. Good D2 or look elsewhere. Maybe Kershaw, Iridium in D2. Civivi is 49 versus Kershaw 64. Civivi does a better job.
Oh, the old way of doing it with skunks and turtles, where I used to always have like the giveaways, where I would like throw them in the like kaboob, the kaboob giveaways. Basically.
Civivi does a better job. I think Civivi and CGRB do a better job than any company with the D2. I don't. Oh wait, let me take that back. Benchmade's CPM D2 is probably the best I've tried, next to like Medford CPM D2. But as far as just standard D2, not CPM D2, standard D2, Civivi and CGRB do it the best. Then like even like 154 CM, CGRB does a killer job on the 154 CM. Same thing with Kaiser. Civivi does an incredible job as far as like my favorite budget steals. They're Nitro V and 14C. They kick ass with that stuff. And cut tests have proved it. So
hey, Puppet Boy.
Yeah.
That's not an insult. That's really his name.
Puppet Boy?
That's really his name. It's not like I was like insulting someone. Hey, Puppet Boy. Anyway. Oh yeah, I remember you. I love your thumbnail. Anyway. I know this doesn't answer your question like at all.
I can easily sell you on
yeah,
D2.
Jared could do that, sure. But you could just go buy a little fixed blade from, everybody already knows what I'm gonna say, from Corey Dunlap. They're so good.
But that's
They're
not
so
not a
slicey.
self-defense knife,
Anything
baby.
could be a self-defense.
But there's
knife.
a difference between
But
something.
he has different blade shapes though.
There's different for something that's specifically because the way you
Okay,
carry
then
it
get
and
one
everything.
from TKL.
I would say go to TKL, or if you don't have the money, because obviously he's talking about D2, so he's not talking about an expensive one. You can go with here's a couple examples. So one would be the Clinch Pick 2.0. You can get it in 12C27. They have a double edge version that just came out. It's like $160, but they have a different version that's way less than that. That's a single edge. But there's other versions of that are more affordable, that are similar to it. But no, D2 is fine because it's a self-defense knife. So the worst thing you could have is if it's poorly heat treated, right? That's the big deal with D2. D2 technically, when it's heat treated correctly, holds an edge great. It's a great edge holder. The problem is it's not corrosion resistant. So you just want to keep it dry, but it's a self-defense knife. You're not talking about a chef knife here, right? You're talking about a self-defense knife. So as long as it'll take a damn sharp edge, which D2 will, and D2 does really good with a toothy edge, right? Which is what you'd probably want on something like that, something with a lot of bite, something that'll snag. D2 is a good way to go. It's actually a really good steel for a self-defense knife. I would say you don't even need that great of a steel for a self-defense knife, because unless if you're wanting to use it as an EDC knife / self-defense knife, in that case, I'd say, yeah, D2 is great, 14C28N, 12C27,
Strictly
S30V.
self-defense, if you're not going to also use it as EDC, it's like you're not going to do anything in terms of like, they make a lot of fixed blades that are not corrosion resistant or less corrosion resistant, because if you're using it for self-defense, like you're really just waiting on that scenario, right? You're not technically like
you're waiting on the 0.00%.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are you doing that's going to corrode it? Unless you live in a super salty area.
Yeah. I should have said that too.
You know what I mean? Like you're not unless you want something that's dual purpose, in which case, but just keep your knife clean.
Yeah, I wouldn't sell it to you if you were in Florida or Louisiana or something like that. In that case, I would say go for a stainless. But if you're not in those two areas, then you'll be fine.
Yo, Brandon, remember Lil Pumpkin.
How much better is CPM D2 to regular D2? It's a lot better. So it's a powdered version. So it's a powdered version of D2. So basically it's tougher. That's one thing. And D2 isn't really known for its toughness. So CPM D2 increases the toughness. And then I think you get about a 7% edge retention difference. So, the edge retention will be a little bit better, but the toughness goes way up. So obviously those are going to be, it's going to be better. Now, as far as D2 taking an edge, this is the thing. The same thing when we were talking about earlier with CPM 154 versus 154 CM. With CPM D2, you're going to want to go with a coarser edge than regular D2. With regular D2, I say 600 grit is the best grit for regular D2. Between 600 and 800 grit, you want a coarser edge. With CPM D2, you probably want to stick around 400 grit because it's finer grain. So you're gonna lose bite. If you go over 1,000 grit with CPM D2, it'll get slick. You don't want that. You want it to have bite.
Can you get to that super chat?
Which one?
Scroll.
Thank you for the 5 bones. Go ahead.
4.99 bones. I like saying it like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like to give him a little. I like to give him an extra penny.
I always do that. Kara, as a lefty, which do you prefer from Spyderco, the ball or the compression lock? I know they make a lefty compression, but I'm curious on your take. So one thing you need to understand about me before I answer that question is I am left-handed for when I use a knife, but I actually carry in my right pocket, take it out, do all the action with my right hand.
She's a fake lefty.
And then I flip it over to my left hand because I actually use the knife left-handed, but I'm fully functional opening it right-handed. So that's how I do it. But I frequently do open knives with my left hand. So in that particular scenario, I know I'm getting there. Okay. Why would you blow my load early?
I'm not.
You ruined the surprise.
It's just compression locks are not for fucking lefties.
The only reason I actually really hate the compression lock for lefties, even when you put OCD for EDC's.
Well, that's when it's cool. No, that's when it's good.
You're not a real lefty.
Doesn't matter. I flick lefty more than you flick lefty.
When you have a knife, can you just hand me a knife, please?
Yeah.
I don't care which one. Okay.
Ball lock.
Yeah, but like pretend this is compression. When you're left-handed and you go to do the compression, you're doing it with your fingertip, and the positioning that you're putting your hand in when you're trying to do that to be able to actually push it down properly, it's a very weak kind of position to be in. Like it's not as strong as it is with your thumb. You're not as sturdy with the knife. It's sort of flimsy. I don't really know how to explain it. I'm sure you know what I mean, but your finger kind of gets in the way. It's not made for your pointer finger. What is that thing called? The CME. It makes it better, but I still am gonna prefer the Axis crossbar ball.
The CME is a button that goes on the compression lock. Just so you guys know, it's the CME, the letters by OCD for EDC. So if you go to OCD for EDC, he has a website. You can find the CMEs there.
It basically makes the button stick out level with the surface of the scale, so that instead of having to dip your thumb in for the compression
you
lock,
can just do it like a button lock.
It's like a button almost. It sticks above the scale a little.
But the thing is you don't have to take the knife apart. So you don't have to be good with taking the knife apart or anything like that. It glues right on. It's very easy to install, and there's plenty of videos on how to install it. So he sends everything with it, everything you need to install it, and you can basically take a compression lock and make it work great for lefties. Me personally, I love the CMEs because it makes it to where I can actually use a Spyderco compression lock left-handed, but a ball lock's always going to be better.
But yeah, no, I am fully functional with my right hand as well. So with the exception of like writing, so I do prefer to just work with the locks as they were made. But I'm so weird. I open the knives right-handed, carry a right pocket, switch to my left hand, but I close my knives left-handed. And so that's why I do have a strong opinion about the compression lock, because though I open right-handed, I do tend to close my knives left-handed. So I'm completely used to doing liners and frame locks from the left-handed position, so pulling my thumb from this direction, so much so that if I actually use a left-handed knife, I can't do it. It feels so weird to push the lock in the correct direction that I can't even do it.
Maurice, I'm happy to hear that. That probably means you're doing healthy shit. That's the way I take that. I'm not sure if that's exactly what you mean. So I'm going to guess that that's what you mean, but good for you if that is the case. I think that is awesome, man. Regardless of the knives, I'm glad you're here. People in prison use less quality than D2 for self-defense.
They'd probably be using an 1810.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, probably. That or like fiberglass.
Somebody said they need you to show all your knives in one video. You know how much all of our knives. Listen, I just organized all of our knives. That video would be painful.
Hours.
Painful.
Hours. It'd be tough. It'd be tough. And if we took them all out and laid them across, like, because it's like, where do you put them, right? Where do you put them to get them all ready? Like, I have cases upon cases full. So the cases, you could just sit there. But what about the ones that don't have cases? They're all in boxes and pouches and in chests and things like that. Like, it just, it would be a 3-hour long video. if I named them all. Like if I didn't name it all and I just went like this over the knife, you could do that, right? I could do that, but I would have to literally cover the entire floor.
Do we
be dancing on knives?
Don't say it out loud. Do we have any extras of those?
I don't have any.
Okay.
No, not that
also,
I can think of.
can you effing hit that bell for that?
Yeah, I can.
Do you see what that says?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to.
But do you see it?
Wait, is that
do you see what it says?
Welcome to the Rocksteads, Brad. Thank you, man, for all the support. Just so you know, Brad,
Brad's kind of a G.
Brad's a G. And you know what? For the G's, I actually do one-on-one sharpenings. If you want help one-on-one, you can request it once a month. I mean, you can do however long, you know, an hour or 2 hours together, just me and you, face to face on camera like this.
Zoom call or something.
No, like it won't be recorded or anything. Well, no, it'll be on this. It'll be on. It'll be just like this on StreamYard, except for I'll be able to see you, you'll be able to see me, and we can do live sharpening.
It's not recorded or being posted.
No, I wouldn't do that to you. No. Got my jank shank a couple weeks ago. That works good. Made me my first paracord wrap / knot for it. I've been checking out that will you grab it really quick? Yeah. Right there. The wee knife right there at the end. Yep.
I don't like this one.
I know you don't. No, not that one.
This?
Yep.
Why is it open?
Because
it can only be open.
So I've been liking this thing. It's a push dagger.
Isn't that one made by that? No, that's not the one I'm thinking of.
So it's titanium M390 or 20 CV. Sorry, 20 CV titanium, and it's a regular pocket knife, and it's actually pretty solid like this. You know, as long as you're pinching it. But then you can grab the spine, slap it forward. See how it goes down. Then you can use it as a punch dagger. And I know you're thinking like, well, if it moves, wouldn't it move in your hand? No, the reason why is because once you go like this with your wrist against this, it locks it in place. So me going like this, I can't muscle this thing out. Like I can punch it right through wood right now because all the pressure is going forward, keeping it closed. So you have to pull it, right? Not push it. So any type of pushing motion is only making it stronger. You have to pull it in order for it to get looser. And when you're gripping it, it doesn't matter if you pull. Like I can pull on the blade all I want. It's not going to do anything. So it actually works pretty good. Much better than I would have thought.
Daniel was like, I tried to schedule a one-on-one with Neeves Knives and I got timed out. And then
who?
Daniel, like jokingly.
Bullshit.
Like, and then God goes, yeah, probably because you were trying to donate memberships one-on-one.
That is funny. That's hilarious. A lot of the shanks I found are made of acrylic. Yeah, that's what I said. That's why I said, like, technically, like, you know, if you're locked up, it's most likely going to be fiberglass. But yeah, they actually sell a lot of acrylic or like basically like shanks that'll go through metal detectors and stuff that are not made of metal, and they're just made for poking, you know. Yeah, go ahead.
Steve is here.
Steve's here.
Steve.
Super Steve with the 5 bones. I only flick left-handed when I'm on the right side of the bed.
That somehow sounds so weird. And
it does.
Don't even know what
it
means.
It does. Sounds a little dirty. Steve. Appreciate the donation. Gonna be seeing you soon, brother.
Yeah.
And shout out to everybody else who's going to be going to Blade Show Atlanta. I can't wait to see you guys. It's gonna be a hell of a time. Hell of a time. I gotta go, guys. I have to get up and work. All right, brother. Thank you for stopping. No, we appreciate you stopping in, man. Thank you for stopping in. Toothbrush handles. Yeah, that's plastic. That'll work. You can use just damn near anything. Like
people use Jolly Ranchers. They would like take them and they would like suck, because you can get them from Canteen. And so they would like suck them down to really, really sharp points and then continuously do it, heat them up in the microwave and make a giant Jolly Rancher shank. I'm not kidding you.
Mm-hmm.
This is a fact. Okay. And it re-hardens into basically a pike. And that's a way people do it.
Yeah, we'll definitely swing by the booth. We're gonna hopefully. So what we're planning on doing is the first day we got early access with the thing. So we are the badges. Yeah.
I felt like such a dickhead standing in Texas watching that entire line and then
Oh yeah, and we're just
there,
gonna go right
we
past.
walk in late
But
as shit.
that's how it goes. What are you talking about?
I know, but I just felt bad because we walked in like
we were
super
workers.
late.
We were workers. We were
And then
working.
they just let us in.
Working.
I don't care. I would,
They're not working.
Listen, if I was in that line, I'd be like, "What the fuck?"
No, you can't because
they don't know that we're not buying something. Is the thing.
We weren't though.
I know.
Like we don't do that.
Like
we don't do that. We don't
thinking,
listen. We don't skip the line and go in there and buy shit.
No,
just so you guys know. But if there was something I really, really wanted,
you'd probably just talk to the company.
I'd probably just talk to the company. But if there was something I really wanted and I couldn't talk to the company, and the only way I get it is if I got in there early and paid for it, I probably still wouldn't do it. But if I did do it, I'd just tell you guys, yeah, I went in there early and bought one. But then I'd make the company look bad, so I wouldn't do that. And I don't want to take your guys' chances of getting stuff. But we'll be in there early, recording. So as soon as the doors open, we're going to do our best to get 90% of all the recording done the first day. And then the second and third day, we're just going to kick it, go around, talk to people, hang out, blah, 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 blah. So if you guys see us, even if we're filming, come up and say what's up. We are happy to talk to you, happy to take pictures, whatever. Just come right up to us. Don't even worry about it. Unless if like I'm doing an interview, then just wait 5 minutes because the interviews will go fast. But if I'm just sitting there filming a booth or a table, just come right up. I don't care. It ain't gonna bother the video.
Also, really interesting question that
that's
I like.
true. That's true, Aaron. You ever put the jawbreakers in the microwave? You ever see what happens? It explodes and it's like molten lava.
It's bad. You know, I actually got some 3rd-degree burns whilst still being a manager at Starbucks. This was before I knew you. I still have scars from it. From the sandwiches that you put in the oven, the little corners of cheese that drip off, they would get on the parchment paper and they'd come out of the oven going like a little, like they'd be popping all over. And it's so oily that it slides right off the parchment paper, and it slid right onto my forearm and gets stuck because it's burning cheese. I got the gnarliest burns. They actually prescribed me this stuff, and it was like a lotion form of silver. Like literal silver, and that's what you use to heal very, very bad burns. Anyway, real quick, somebody asked an interesting question. Oh God, now I can't find it.
Gotta take my meds. Hope I can get to Atlanta. I hope you can too.
I'm sorry, I can't remember.
Meds included.
Whoever asked, I feel like it was Captain Australia who asked, "Why don't you use Swiss Army knives?"
Why don't I use Swiss Army knives?
Do you have something against the Swiss?
No, I don't have nothing against them. I mean, is that a question? Do I have something against the Swiss?
No, that's my question.
I definitely have something.
I'm trying to feel like maybe
you
do.
The Swiss are separate from the knives. I have a problem with the Swiss, but as far as Swiss knives go, no, I used them growing up. I'm into bigger and better things.
Do you, Toasty? Sorry.
I'm into bigger and better things now. So like they use really, really simple steels, and not saying they're not great. And I think they're awesome, especially like if you're gonna have like a little multi-tool, those are the best. Like have them in backpacks, have them all over. It's just, there's a channel out there that does a really good job on, like with the Victorinoxes. They have a whole channel of Victorinoxes, and it's great. And he teaches you all these techniques and all these tricks and things I never even knew that you could do with those things. But that's just not my channel. And even if I carry them, I just, it's not something I broadcast. I prefer more modern day style knives. Let me just read this really quick. Anthony says, I've got to be careful with the Tor, getting it back into the sheath. It's narrow and stabby. The blade is nice. The suitor is pretty great for the money as well. Yeah, that is one thing, man. Certain fixed blades that are certain shapes and you have a sheath, they can bite you sometimes.
Yeah, silver excuse me, silver sulfidizing cream. Yeah, that stuff is.
Oh, you're talking about like, silver sulfidine. Yeah,
silfidine. It feels like silk. It's like
I used to have to use that for wound care for my dad. Talking about fucking wounds you guys couldn't even imagine. I used to have to use that stuff. Talking about like
dude, that
bad
wounds.
Sick. Wounds that were so infected. What? Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sorry. That Thunderbird is awesome. Mark was saying like everyone loves the one he won. Oh, Pacow's here. Literally that Thunderbird is the action is just nuts. I was organizing it into a pile one day and I just went boom, boom, and I was like, what is this knife? Like it was so awesome. Also, did you ever give the TLDR on your mess up again or no?
I just might. What?
Did you ever give your TLDR on your mess up or no?
What the hell does that mean?
A summary.
Yeah.
Did you again?
Yeah. I did.
It was just about misposting a video.
It's not about misposting.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
Fucked up.
It was about wrong information. Just literally rewind this video to the beginning. I start this video talking about it right away.
Yeah, if you guys want to know,
Go right into it. So all you gotta do is just rewind right back to the very beginning of this video. I jump into it quick. Kara fucks around for about 10 seconds in the beginning, but then we get right into it.
I came to make you calm.
I know.
I didn't even have a sip.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't.
You did. Everybody loves the Thunderbird. I won from your channel. Awesome, Mark. Congratulations. I'm always happy to hear people winning stuff from the channel, especially when it goes to a good home. People have won. Can you guys believe this? People have won rock studs from our channel. People have won hinders, multiple hinders. People have won Shurogoroffs from our channel. People have won so many damn things from our channel. Thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars knives. And now somebody's about to win the new Microtech MSI or the Microtech Stitch that's sitting right behind Kara's head right now. One in each box, brand spanking new. And that's going to one of the patrons.
One of you fools.
One of you dummies. She was so innocent with that. No.
Because it was real.
Oh, man. Baby Jesus. I'm carrying the off-grid knives I won on this channel right now.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, dude, the off-grid does a damn good job. I love their stinger. Oh, I remember when you got that. Dukes of Hazzard. What's up, Fuggins?
What up, Buggy? What up, Skin?
What's up, Fuggin? I won that Real Steel Metamorph from your channel years ago. Hell yeah. That's another good one. That's one. What?
Papa Pita said, I feel like reaching through the screen and giving these kids a goo. What for sometimes? What does that mean? You want to reach through the screen and goo us? What does that mean?
Maybe he means a kiss on the cheek. Maybe he means
a goo?
Kara's information on Huss Knives was cool to see.
Thank you. Very informational.
Yes. Well, that's
probably about like 98% of what Jared regurgitates on video has come through my research. It's all just a facade.
Oh, I see.
It's all a facade.
What?
What do you mean?
It's so true. It's so true.
I don't think
I've ever said a word in a video that didn't come out of her mouth.
Original thought in your life.
Never.
It's just all I go.
If it wasn't for her writing me notes under the table right now, I wouldn't even be able to talk to you guys.
No, I have a teleprompter like what Joe Biden reads from.
Cue ball. Cue ball, thank you for the butt bones. Pitted Blade Joe will be hopping all night, each night. Can't wait. Yes, it's going to be an amazing time. And I think that this is going to be probably the biggest one yet. I can't say that for sure because I've only been to a couple, but I think because a lot of people are going to this one, and I think it's going to be more than normal as far as people in the knife community. And I think that this has the potential to be the best one
Jared
ever.
Biden, you heard it here first. I'm the Jared Whisperer.
Jared is just the talent. Kara is the behind the scenes management. There you go.
I was like the investor, right? Like the ghost investor of the talent. So like I invented
what does that mean?
Like I invented the actual channel. I taught you how to edit.
Oh fuck.
I taught you how to do everything you know.
You taught me how to flip knives.
He's basically like my protege, if you will. So yeah, I did you know what? I will admit
I appreciate that, Captain.
That's the one thing.
Thank the champ. Don't thank me.
Yeah,
thank
that's the
champ.
one thing he taught me was how to flip a knife. So
no, you taught me how to flip a knife.
No, I'll give you that one.
You give me that one?
Anything not technology related, I'll give you.
I feel the cut and the lemon juice seeping in, and it's burning.
Because the fact of the matter is regardless of my investment in teaching, you literally do all like everything on your own.
Are you really camping out, Daniel? That's crazy.
You know what? You seem like a camping out motherfucker.
I'll tell you what, man. There's gonna be a lot of campers. So, like, if you are a camper, what that means, guys, and
I feel like somebody could totally just start looting those people, knowing they got $100 knives on.
Oh,
like,
yeah, you know they got stacks in their pocket. Just walk up.
In the line,
I'm gonna go up.
Give me your knife. Give me your knife.
I think we might have to go a day early with our ski masks. Yeah. But. No, I just meant the money in their pockets.
That too. You know they got cash money.
Yeah, well, you know they got stacks in their
that's
pocket.
A lick.
That's a lick. Somebody right now is like, oh shit. No, but what we're talking about is the people that wait for the doors to open at Blade Show Atlanta. So there's going to be people literally sleeping in the bushes because they have early bird special. So as soon as the doors open, if they're the first ones through, they'll be the first ones to be able to buy like an Oz Roosevelt or Koenig Arias, and they'll only have so many available for that day. So they'll sell like say 300 that day, right? Then the next day they might have like 100 more, the next day 100 more, something like that. But what they do is so many people will be in line. So if you're not first or 10th or something, right, in line, you might as well be like 300 because like the line would be so big. Like I remember last year, we didn't even get to look at any of the Koenig Arias because the line was like over an hour long. So you can imagine how fast the stuff sells out. So people with certain knives that they know are going to be there, they know specifically what color, what everything, and they literally come in running. And they've slept all night. But like I always say, if you're willing to sleep in the bushes for that door to open, for you to get there, good for you. You deserve it.
Hey,
Yeah,
if we
yeah.
have passes, right?
Mhm.
But we also have 2 early bird things, is it possible to let like someone use our early bird thing since we don't technically need it now?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, they'd have to pretend to be us.
Chris, if that's possible somehow, but I can still get a wristband, you might be able to use mine. I'll look into how that would
Jared,
work.
it's not the 70s. We don't like bushes anymore.
So we just watched a whole thing on that today. It's so weird you said that.
Speak for yourself. Austin loves them. So I'm on it. I'll donate half the take to Neeves Knives later. Crispy
Yes.
Donut says we will be there Wednesday so we can visit, then set up on Thursday.
Nice.
I think we go in. What day do we fly in? Wednesday or Thursday?
Thursday. We'll be there Thursday evening, but we'll just be chilling at the crib that first night.
Coming in hot. Kara's Jared build has several runs and plus 80
You're reading
RPM.
that really wrong.
Yeah, I am.
Kara's Jared build has several runes and plus 80. You know I'm an arcane.
I don't even
I'm
get
an
that.
arcane master.
Is that a gamer
All
thing?
good
Is that a
luck.
gamer thing?
No, it's regular English.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Some pay for a table to make deals before VIP even get in. Props to the companies who won't. Most don't though. A lot of them don't. Like, trust me. Like, if you have a friend that has a company, obviously you're gonna have dibs on it for somebody else. We've never taken advantage of that, by the way. Not saying that we wouldn't take advantage of that.
What?
Of like knowing a company and getting something, because they'll give it to us anyways. Like usually if we ask or if we want to, they'll usually give it to us. But I mean, like we've never taken from the companies that will never send us anything that we could 100% buy from that would hurt your guys' chances of getting one. We've never done that. We've never, like, even at Blade shows, like we've never rushed in there to buy something before anybody gets in there. I've never even asked.
We could have it Texas easy.
Oh yeah, no,
Easy.
for sure we could have. But yeah, it's not saying that I wouldn't do that to you guys, but I just haven't yet. Jared, any idea? Wait, where the hell did it go? Jared, any idea about Carbon Ho?
Who that Carbon Ho?
Who that Carbon Ho? I played too much GTA today. Too much. The dudes from USA Made Blades said one of the manufacturers is going to set aside small batches of knives and do drops before and after launch Friday and Saturday.
There's a couple people doing some stuff
there
like
are.
that.
Yeah, there is. Just like even American Blade Works. American Blade Works dropped some yesterday, and they usually drop like every week or two. On Friday he drops, and then I'm sure he'll be at Blade Show. I'm not positive, but where is John Evans? I've seen his comment. I've seen him comment a few times already. I should have called him out. Shout out to John Evans. Go and check his channel out. He has a YouTube channel. You know who else started a channel? Cue Ball started a channel. Go and check that out as well. Go give him some love.
Did you get Cue Ball's super chat pit at Blade Show? That one? The pit at Blade Show will be hopping all night, each night. Can't wait.
Well, just in case if I didn't. 5 bones from Cue Ball, and it will be hopping. Yes, it will. Oh, yeah,
these are far back. I don't know how we missed these. I'm sorry, guys. We also have RG member for 1 month. Thank you so much for the 1 month. And he says,
Yo, thank you for becoming a member for a month.
We're possibly winning a membership. We're not sure.
Yeah, he possibly won a membership. Yeah.
We don't
Mannix XL versus Shaman. I would go with the Mannix, but a lot of people would pick the Shaman. I would say if you're really going to be like hard use, the XL Manix is bigger. And the Shaman's probably a little bit tougher. And I say that just because, well, okay. So the lock on the Manix is probably stronger, but the blade on the Shaman is more robust. So depending on what you're wanting it for, but personally, I'd pick the Manix all day.
Okay, so Rob meant how long does carbon last? Do you mean carbon fiber? How long does it last? Because if that's what you mean, there's not really a duration.
Well, the carbon is different than carbon fiber.
Well, I don't know exactly what you meant. Maybe clarify one more time what you mean.
Carbon fiber probably lasts forever.
It's like one of the strongest materials you can.
It's the strongest and lightest. Like it's like 5 times stronger than steel pound for pound or something like that. We have a video. I can show you a video right now where it gets over 100. What is it? 100 tons? No, not 100,000 tons or something.
Says, yes, carbon fiber.
Over 100,000 tons or something in a hole. I think it the one direction, if you set up a block of carbon fiber on one direction, it can hold 60,000 tons. If you flip it over to the face, it can hold over 100,000 tons. I can show you a video right now. That's crazy.
Dukes of Hazzard, thank you for the 1 month. He says street tacos and Voodoo Ranger tonight's menu.
Love me some street tacos.
I like street corn.
Love me some street tacos. Any idea when we'll be dropping
cheese and the street corn?
Anthony, I'm going to reach out and ask. I asked about the other department to check in on that.
The XOKs though, not the plain.
Both of them. I said both. So we're gonna find out. I haven't heard anything. I know, like with the Karambit one, it needed some kinks worked out. So I'm not sure what they're gonna do, what they're doing, or where they're at with that. But I will, as soon as I find out anything, you guys will be the first to know.
Okay, real quick. Sorry, fast. Two things. Puppet Boy says, is moisture seeping into carbon fiber something to worry about? The answer is no. The only way I would say yes is maybe if you have one of those plain, like those really cheap ones where it's like that little piece of laminate on top of G10. If it's not like glued properly, maybe moisture can get in between those things.
The G10's waterproof too.
Right, but it's not that big of a deal really. But and then in the same thing, Rob is saying he has carbon scaled knives that really lose their shine when being used. There's different carbon fibers in the way that they polish them. I personally like the ones that aren't polished. I like when they're more of a matte texture. But yeah, you could polish them back. It really just depends on how extreme they go with the polishing.
Listen, anything in life can get scratchy, foggy and things like that, but you can always refinish it.
Is that a metaphor for emotions?
No, I'm saying like it doesn't have titanium. It could be a diamond. A diamond can get foggy and scratched up, but you can repolish it. That's all I'm saying. So
this is a metaphor for life.
So I'm saying carbon fiber, if it is getting cloudy, or messed up, just polish it up. It'll be just fine. You can get start with a high grit sandpaper and then work your way up to like a very, very high grit, like 20, 30, 40,000 grit, and it'll polish up really good. But if you don't want to polish, you can always just refinish it like 600 grit.
That's sad.
What?
Dr. Kim said, I've lost some of my polish over the years. But you can always repolish yourself. I told you.
You can always repolish yourself. Yeah. You can always repolish yourself.
Take a little work and time.
Drink extra water. And you'll be fine.
Cover yourself in baby oil. I'll help. You look polished.
Moisturize your skin a little bit. To find out how old stuff is, carbon fiber date is carbon is super long lasting. It doesn't really decay. No, it doesn't decay. It's it's one of the most indestructible materials when you really think about it, pound for pound wise, as far as lightweightness goes. Yeah, it's crazy.
Doesn't Original Goat make 80/20.5 scales?
Yes. Use my link down in the description with the discount code.
Carbon scales on my 80/20.5 have sharp edges. Could you round? Yeah, you could round them. Use a Dremel. You could round them, bad boys.
With sandpaper, a Jack Wolf. So just don't hit the titanium. Like if you wanted to polish, if you wanted to take, say, the carbon fiber scales, and you wanted to polish it where it almost look wet, you can take the scales off, and then you're gonna have to polish it up with sandpaper. And you just have to do like with those, since they're already kind of fine, you can probably start at 1,000 grit and then go to 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, something like that. I don't think you would have to start at like 600 because it's already kind of shiny already, but it does depend. Like the coarser it is, the more like not shiny it is, the coarser you're gonna have to start with. Just like with anything, right? Like if you were gonna polish a wooden table, you would want to start with like a 200 grit sandpaper, then go to 300 or maybe like 50 grit. Then, depending on how many scratches you need to take out. Because if the scratches are deep, you got to take all those out before you polish it. So you got to, lay it down with a 50 grit, go to 200 grit, 600 grit, 1,000 grit, and then so on and so on and so on until you get to polish. Tinsel strength is nuts. It really depends on if it's true woven carbon fiber, because I think sanding would rip it up. That's how they refinish them at the factories. They just, polish them up. I'm just saying, don't use an aggressive sandpaper. Use a finer grit sandpaper. That's what I'm saying. Like if you use a finer sandpaper, it'll be just fine. You just use very fine and go finer and finer and finer. And you can also, not saying to do this, but you could do this after you've shined it, after you've polished it. You could also like put a clear coat over it. I've done that with other things. I've never done it with carbon fiber, but I bet it would look pretty dope. Make it almost look wet. Why don't you chat instead of going in the chat?
You're talking.
I'm not talking. Actually.
What was that?
I was talking to you.
What's that?
Talking to you.
That's talking.
It's to you. That's to you.
It's a talk. Walkie talkie.
Okay.
You're so mean.
Can't say those kind of words.
I'll just leave.
That wasn't me. That's him.
Oh, that was you.
No.
You
don't do that.
You brought it into the real world.
See you next live. Bye. See you later, Captain. Appreciate you coming by. We're gonna be leaving in about 10 minutes anyway. So, bottle of vagina. What did I miss?
Vagina.
Bottle of vagina. Battle of vagina. I have 10,000 grit sandpaper here. After that, it's the micron stuff down to 1 micron thing. Yeah. You can like obviously when you get to super fine, it's going to be microns.
I meant to answer
and
that,
I think
Jim.
like 3/2 micron is like 5,000 grit. So.
Okay, I meant
but
to
yeah,
answer
then you get the 1/4 micron, 0.001 micron, and so on and so on. Go ahead.
Seems logical. Did you see my comment? If you didn't, go back. Jim Q. Probably not. We don't typically do the streams from Blade Show just because Wi-Fi is not a guaranteed like good thing depending on where we're at. We don't really know how it's gonna be. And to be honest with you, we'll probably be at the pit and stuff like that. And it's sort of like like in my opinion, it's sort of like a no to like be streaming from there just because people are trying to relax and have a good time. Like nobody wants a camera in their face and all that jazz. So there's probably not going to be a stream for that particular weekend, but we'll pick right back up when we get home.
No, what we'll do is I'm going to try my best to get the first video that I record from Blade Show uploaded as soon as possible, because I really want to get some content up from Blade Show. But as far as like the serious stuff from Blade Show that I already have planned recording, it's gonna take me a couple days to edit because I'm gonna be working the whole time and doing shit. When you watch some of the other companies that do this stuff, they have a team that edits for them and everything, so it's a little bit more easier. They don't have to be the face and the editor. So but we'll be doing the damn deal. That's what matters. We will be kicking ass.
Facts.
That's faux show. Reception sucks at Blade Show. Yeah, that's why we are not using we have lapel mics, but they're not going to be like on a frequency, so they only work on their own frequency, so it should go good. No blades after dark. My mind goes to very odd places thinking of Battle Vagina.
I'll show you guys what it is. I'll put it in
the like a fleshlight.
I know, because it's bottled up.
Yes, I've rounded my own jipping with emery paper. Yes. Dukes of Hazzard coming in hot with the 10 bones. So what's the record? 4 hours live. Laugh out loud. Have a good rest of your weekend. Thank you, Dukes of Hazzard. And yes, I think our longest was about 4 or 5 hours.
We did 5 recently.
Yeah. We try not to do those though, because it's tough. Unless if you're like, if you go into it, then it's different because your mindset is like planned like for a long time. Chavez, Kickstop, Drop Point, or Tonto in DLC, and Drop Point or Tonto in hand rub satin. Pick one for each. I would probably pick the Drop Point in DLC. I don't know though, man. I almost want to say the Drop Point. Okay, it's hand rub finish. So I'm not a huge fan of hand rub. Hand rub's still dope, but if it has to be hand rubbed, then I would go Tonto, or sorry, Drop Point for hand rubbed, and then DLC for the Tonto. Now, if you can get like a belt set and finished, then I would do the opposite. I would go DLC for the Drop Point, and then satin for the Tonto, just because the belt satin looks really cool to dual grind. But that's the way I'd do it. Can't get off. So y'all's content can give me a glimpse of good knife love. Pour that money. Wait, pour in that money, rich boomers. We want more than 10 minutes. Oh, you guys are hilarious. Seth says, I'm not always Polish. I'm not always polished, but when I am, I do it in the comment section of Neeves Knives. There you go. I like the shaman there. The shaman. Did you show him?
Yeah.
You gave him a link. Why didn't you just pull it up here?
Because,
why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Because I don't want to subject everyone to
Why would you do that?
We don't need to subject everyone to it. It's not inappropriate.
Let's check out some Instagram.
It's not inappropriate. You can.
Whoa. Let's not check out Instagram.
Content.
Jeremiah Moses coming in hot with 10 bones. Hi there, Jared and Kara. What's up, you two? Sorry to be late, but I'm here now. Plus, I'm sorry to hear about what happened to your guys' workshop video. For real, though. For real, that's some BS. Yeah, it sucks, man, but it's a part of the game. Like I said, I'm just going to keep it pushing. But yeah, it does suck, man. It really hurts us because, especially because when you plan on, because I had that video planned for weeks, knowing it was going to be a good video. It's going to hit the algorithm. It's going to be a banger. And then you shit the bed. So, but thank you though. I appreciate it. Daniel Cad with another 10 bone skis. Can someone give me a timeout? I feel left out tonight.
He did. He took his super chat down, dude. I didn't even know you could have the power to take a super chat down. That's so funny.
What do you mean?
Look, message deleted by Q Ball. He wanted a timeout. I hope that didn't delete our money.
Yeah, right.
Could you
imagine? Our money. Shit. Thanks, Q Ball. Yo, it's $10.
It's weird that you want a timeout to feel included. Yeah, I think you have Stockholm syndrome where you're feeding off the timeouts. You need them.
Thank you, Dukes of Hazzard, for another 10
really
bones.
syndrome,
you guys are crazy, man. Hitting it hot right here.
Oh shit! Sorry.
Breaking shit. Whoa, Brad coming in with the 20 bones. At least 10 more minutes. All right, we can push it a couple more minutes. We never even did story time, but might have to skip that one now because the story I had was such a long one. But hey, man, I appreciate all the donations. I did want to check out Instagram really quick.
Did you get? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did. So here's Epic Snuggle Bunny. Man, he used to make so many videos. I haven't seen a video of his in so long. I wonder, is he still making content? Just like another one that I don't see very often anymore is hey Jeremiah, 5 members. Thank you, man. Appreciate the members. Thank you for the donation. Woo! But I haven't seen
Renee got one.
Dr. Frunky. I think he's supposed to be do that.
Yeah.
Demonetized. We'll give him a little like. There's the American Blade Works in North Carolina. What the fuck is that?
Ew! Get off this. I hate it.
Someone was talking about bushes earlier. Shout out to Luck Knives. Go and support him as well. He's now making custom knives and looks like he's doing a damn good job. Look at that cross or side cut carbon fiber, man. I love side cut carbon fiber. It's probably my favorite.
Say that 5 times fast.
And it's a Teravantium blade. Holy shit. So if you guys don't know, I did do a test on Teravantium. You guys can go check that video out. So
I don't know, guys. I don't know what that was. Just scoop your eyes out and pretend like you never saw it.
Shout out to Steve. We seen him in the chat a little while ago. Steve Kalari Custom Knives. He's now making custom knives, not only regular fixed blades, but probably some of the best chef. I'm going to say the best, probably the best chef knives you could buy right now. Not only heat treated wise, but geometry. His knives are mega thin. A tactical butt plug.
That's what that picture was.
EMP has.
Yo,
Look at that.
what?
Oh,
No,
can't do that.
bad boy.
EMP came out with an OTF. That's crazy. I didn't even know that. You guys been holding out on me. That's cool. Hell yeah. There's Joe. Shout out to Joe. Go and give him some love too. Looks like he's got that new Artisan Midgard Messer. Shout out to them.
No free ads.
This is that cop that that patrols my old neighborhood. We talked about getting together at one point. He's a detective in my old neighborhood, and he's an awesome dude. He's got a YouTube channel, and he talks about a lot of the, anyways, doesn't matter. But he's me and him talked about possibly getting together and doing a live one of these days. I don't know if we ever will or not, but shout out to him. He just got married. This is him on his honeymoon, so congratulations to them. What's up, baby?
Arrowhead said, I do lawn care for a living. A couple weeks ago, I almost ran over the biggest damn butt plug I've ever seen in my life at a fire station that I mow at.
Say it again.
I knew you weren't listening.
I'm
I
sorry.
can feel it in my damn bones. All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Yeah. I'm not getting ready if you don't. Hurry up. Go. Come on.
Arrowhead said, I do lawn care for a living. A couple of weeks ago, I almost ran over the biggest damn butt plug I've ever seen in my life at a fire station I mow at.
Why would there be a butt plug?
Why would there not be? You know?
That's a better question, right? I used to do landscaping. I've seen
What
some
is on
crazy
the
shit.
screen?
That is Choir Boy.
Why?
It
What
looks
is
like
happening?
I don't know. It looks like he's been sandblasting, but I don't know. Looks like he's had a hell of a work day. Transparent Knives. Shout out to Brian. It looks like he's got. Oh, what's he doing? Is he doing regrinds or something? So we got a Rosie here. Then we got a Spartan Harsey with a regrind, 100%. And we got a Chris Reeves Knives with a regrind. That's dope.
I literally used to always employ
TRM?
so many firefighters that were in like their training phase, like
I
the
want one of those
phase where like
Kickstops.
you're not fully employed, but you have to go do that training every week, and you're not like full time and all that stuff. So many of those firemen work at Starbucks, like so many. And the reason why is because Starbucks offers part-time insurance. So they're able to do their part-time fireman work and still have benefits while working at Starbucks. It's super common. Anyway.
They have them in stock right now.
But what website is this? Do you
What? Crane's Cutlery. It's Crane's
I don't
Cutlery.
know. I didn't know.
So Crane's Cutlery right now does have the Kickstop in stock. I'm looking at it right now. You guys can't see what I see, but they do have them in stock, it looks like. 410 bones, though. That's tough. That's tough. So I'd love to get it, but man, too rich for my blood right now because we have Blade Show coming up. Yeah, go ahead, baby.
Do you think that you could dye a powdered
Shout out to Cuba. What?
handle?
Rit dye what?
A powdered aluminum handle. Oh, I hate those.
Rit dye. Why
feel.
would you rit dye aluminum?
I don't know. No, you need. No, I already know the answer to that question. No, you can't do rit dye on that.
Yeah, it has to be like a synthetic
fabrics,
yeah.
or regular rit dye for like cotton.
My Cartas,
G10s. Aluminum is full on coatings.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yep. Shout out to Cue Ball. And here's that Chris Reeves Knives from Brian again.
Jared,
I think
just got
dope.
my Vero XL Synapse. I have the little one.
We have the big one and the little one.
I know, but I have
we got the XL and the little one. Yeah, it's badass. You guys seen he's got fixed blades now. Here's another one from Chef Kalari. Look at that geometry. Look at that shit. Look at how thin that is. Damn. I think it just looks like it wants to cut something. When I see something like that, I just want to start cutting, slicing. Look at that thing. Man, he's doing incredible work.
Yeah.
No music, Steve. Oh, no music? Oh, good. No music. No music. Uh-oh. I got
Say this.
I need to get my picks in Jared's algorithm. I get no likes from it. Yeah, that's
What?
crazy because Jared likes everything that scrolls by. He doesn't even look. He's just like. We one time got kicked off Instagram for a very short period because they thought we were bots from how much we were liking. That's how
true.
much this man likes.
But that's because the way I look at it is
now
that
they don't do it because they know it's your real habit.
yeah.
to do
Well,
that.
with me, like if I look at it, I usually like it because I looked at it, and especially if it's somebody in the community. So this is the way I do it, just so you guys know. I will never watch knife content, whether I agree with them, hate them. I can actually not like the person making the content. And if you make knife content and I watch it, I'm going to hit the damn like button. And I do that because I know what it takes to make the videos, and I put in the work, and I want people when they watch my videos to hit the like button. So I naturally do it for them. So it doesn't matter what video I watch. And on Instagram, I do the same thing with people's feeds to show them some love, show them some support. But anything else I watch, I don't do that with.
I think we missed
So I
this.
only do that for that stuff.
I think we missed this.
I'm going to it. Jeffrey, what?
It's a gift.
Okay.
You gifted 5.
Jeffrey, thank you for the 5 members, man.
The cute dog in his
Jeffrey
picture.
Dawson. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I can't see it and bring it up on the screen, but I do appreciate it.
Yes.
And
then somebody was asking if you like the new stones you were checking out.
Which ones? The natural stone, or sorry, the
they just said the new stones.
The whetstones. Yeah, they were dope. I mean, they're nothing special. They're just some aluminum oxide whetstones. I would say the better ones to go with would be like oil stones. They're going to be a more dense and not as messy. But if you don't mind water stones, right, then yeah, they're good. I would go, but I would go with king stones before anything else. King stones are Japanese made. They're really good. Go ahead.
Bob Smith.
Go ahead.
Bob Smith. Don't stop me from hitting you. Bob Smith says, any special maintenance required for Dame Steel or Chad Nichols Damaski? Any special stuff?
It's pretty stainless. So you can think of it as the same as 154 CM. So 154 CM, CPM 154, those things. But so all you want to do is keep it oiled every couple months, dry it off, make sure you're not leaving it wet or in damp areas, and you'll be fine. So yes, just keep it dry, keep it clean, keep it oiled. You don't have to oil it every day or anything, but oil it every few months or something.
Manuel Herrera III.
Daniel came in hot with the 5 bones. So I went and cleaned up
Daniel,
the
next time
timeout
you interrupt
corner.
me with money,
It is ready for next time.
Kick you off.
He wouldn't cleaned up the
He
timeout
interrupted
corner.
me with his money.
But he cleaned up the timeout
What?
corner. So it'd be clean for him the next time he goes. You know how it goes. You know how it goes.
Don't actually time him out.
Kind of like making your bed, you know?
But real quick though.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you so much, Daniel.
Yeah.
I'm JKing with you. I'm just JKing.
What?
Manuel Herrera III said, I'm ready to get my first Spider Co. Any suggestions? I was thinking of buying a PM2 Warncliffe and pimping it out. That's a cool choice. Jared's just gonna say Mannix, so don't, he's just gonna say Mannix.
It's not true.
You'll just say Mannix.
It's not true.
What then? Say it.
You done?
Just
if you want a Warncliffe, I would say go with the Yojimbo. The Yojimbo is a nice Warncliffe. It's a hollow grind. It's badass. But if you want to, let me finish. If you want a flat grind, then yes, go with the PM2. But if you want a hollow grind, go with the Yojimbo. But as far as first Spyderco goes, yes, I would always recommend the Mannix first.
You just went in a circle trying to act.
No, I'm saying if it has to be a PM2, because PM2s are great. I would recommend getting a PM2. Interrupting. He's giving the 5 bones for interrupting you. See that?
In this household.
So he got get backs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the PM2s. I have multiple. So PM2s are great. Especially
I like
because
too,
you can get it in crew wear too. So if I was going to choose one, I would get the crew wear PM2 for like 170, 180 bucks. That's what I would go for.
Honestly, I think one that gets left in the dirt a lot is the smock. I like the smock a lot. It has a more elongated sheep's foot Warncliffe blade. Geometry is not as good as the stuff you're going for, but the action is fire.
Yes, the Kapara is another great one too. Yeah,
I very struggle with the action on the Kapara with my left-handedness though.
Yeah, these are great. Really, really good EDC knives. The Kapara. I absolutely love the Kapara. I wish we seen the Kapara in like all different kinds of steels, like the PM2.
Tomcat EDC has a super jet.
Yeah, the Sage 5 is really good. Native 5 is really good. Tomcat.
I did say
Mannix 2 and 15V right here. And it's got a nasty sharp edge on it. Ooh, I wish I could show you guys on a live camera.
Wow, we
it's
have a
sharp.
live camera right here. That's so
No,
good.
I mean, but you can't see
I'm
like
fucking
up
with
close.
you. I'm
It
kidding.
sucks live.
Have you had a Mannix XL ever get stuck closed?
Stuck closed? Something's wrong with your ball. It sounds like
Your balls?
sounds like you need to clean
need
up.
to fix
It
your
sounds like you
balls.
need to fix or clean
You
up
need
your
to
balls.
you need to check that.
If it's actually stuck, take it apart. What's happened is something is messed around with the cage, and the cage is obviously trapping the blade from opening. It's supposed to push down the ball, so check that out,
Yeah.
or make sure it's clean too, because it might be just gunked up or something.
Anthony, that's why I struggle with the Kapara left-handed, is because of the slickness of the scale. So the compression lock, you're already kind of in like a precarious position when you're doing it left-handed, and then on top of it, the slickness of the scales makes me have to struggle with it a little. And also, yeah, the smock is awesome. I feel like people like don't. I don't know. Maybe
The Shaman's great.
Like, I feel like it's because of the geometry of the blade that people don't talk about the smock more. But I really like it.
Dirty balls will get you every time.
Surprised Steve isn't back.
Tropin most underrated Spyderco thing is a pocket sword. Tropin. I think I tried the Tropin. But yeah, the smock is dope too. I like the Kapara better, and I say that because I had the smock and I sold it or traded it or whatever. What's up?
He's here. We were just looking at his thing.
Hey, yeah, we were just looking at your Instagram.
You didn't say his name, Nolan.
I am right now.
Okay, sorry. Oh, sorry.
Shout out to Luck Knives. Go and give him some love and support. He is now making custom knives. Yeah, you should just shut your fucking. Only speak when spoken to. Right? What did you mess up, Jared? I messed up a damn video. If you really want to know about it, me go into details, just rewind to the very beginning. I go into it right when the video starts. But yeah, I shit the bed on information I put in a video, and it made me look like a dumbass. So I want a custom from Luck. I think a lot of people do. I'd like to get one too.
Maybe
there's a couple
some of that interrupting money, you can get one.
Burn!
Shots fired.
Burn!
Got him.
Yeah, there's a couple people I want to get some custom knives from that look like they're pretty dope. Jared, you seen what was that? Jared, you seen the Spyderco Captain?
Yeah.
I'm the captain now. Have I?
Yes. Somebody asked us about that like very recently, and I pulled it up.
I don't remember the Captain. No,
we don't have it, but
let me see it. I want to see it.
I'm almost positive.
Brad with the 5 bones have to run out to pick up a pizza before they close. Salute to you, Brad. Thank you for another 5 bones. I've never seen that in my life. When I was scrolling through the discontinued
I
have never seen that.
Is that the one you're talking about? Because that's the one I know.
That is crazy. I wish I could get that.
I was scrolling through their discontinued page, remember? And I was showing you all the weird knives.
Yeah, I want that one. Smock has good sound to it when opening. Shaman does as well, a bit different sound. Yeah, they're definitely very different. I'm the captain now.
Of the way that the pivot, how the leverage, you've got the flipper so high above the pivot that you literally couldn't fail it. Like, I mean, obviously, like if you tried on purpose, but like because of the leverage and it being a button lock, I know button locks don't use traditional detents, but like the equivalent to a button lock detent doesn't need to be that strong on that knife when you've got your flipper tab up that high, which is great because it allows you to have the light detent for the front flipper on the knife. So it just they worked that all out perfectly. No strong detent needed for the flipper tab because the leverage is so high above the pivot that it's easy to swing it around 180 degrees. And then on the flip side, you don't need the high detent for the front flipper. You don't want a strong detent for the front flipper, so you're able to do it because of how they set it all up. They thought that through well, and the action is great.
So right here is where the ball drops in, right? So when it's closed, that's where the ball right here drops in place. So clean that spot out right there. Really, really good. Clean it out multiple times. I keep closing it and opening it up and checking it. You might if it's sticking after you clean the ball, throw a little bit of permanent marker in that spot, or take graphite from a pencil and just rub it all in there.
So cute that
And
you know it's graphite and not lead.
what'll happen is it'll make it to where it doesn't stick. So permanent, clean it really good with alcohol, then open and close it, clean it again, open and close it, clean it. If that doesn't fix it, then throw some permanent marker on there. Now, if that doesn't fix it, that means you need to take it apart and clean your ball. Watch a video on it though, because they're a little tricky to take apart, but they're very easy once you know how.
Daniel donated $2. I don't even know what it said because it got timed out. Thank you, Daniel. We love you. And then
Crispy used to have one of those Spider Co's. It's crazy.
really?
I've never even seen them.
And then also, can you explain to Captain Australia what being a member does? Because he is now a member and he wants to know what it does.
I will tell you right now. Daniel Carrot, thank you for the 2 bones. Let me pull out the bullet from the shots.
Don't worry, it wasn't a lethal one. You'll make it.
Yeah.
You'll make it.
You just got winged. So as far as the members go, we do 2 lives a month. So tomorrow will be one of them. We do 2 lives a month where we do we teach knife sharpening.
Every other Sunday.
Every other Sunday we teach knife sharpening. 12:15 Central Time, and it depending on what type of member you are. If you're like a Rockstead, we can also do one-on-one, so you'll get the 2 lives plus, you know, if you wanted, you can take advantage of doing, you know, a one-on-one with me at any point. Also, we are going to start posting the short form content. I've had like a bunch of content I've had to make recently, so I'm probably not going to be able to get none of that up for like another week, but we do have some stuff already recorded that is going to be like just specifically for the members. And then we do giveaways and stuff on there. As far as Patreon goes, we only do giveaways there. So once a month we do a big giveaway, and we've always gave away more money than we make on there, which is kind of retarded from a business standpoint. But hey, you know, it's just the way it's been. We planned on doing it like that so that people would be enticed to become Patreons. And we had a lot of Patreons, but it seems like we've always given away more than we've earned. And it's never grown to the point to where like we can not, you know, like give away the things we want without, you know, losing money. So we enjoy giving the stuff away, but the way when we seen what happened to us last year, like it hit us pretty bad. So but we are about to end this stream. I will see you guys tomorrow, 12:15 Central Time. We have ran late. We do appreciate all the donations. You can say one thing.
The other
just
aim
one
of our members'
that was like 7 things.
One general idea.
Okay, go ahead.
The other thing with the members' lives is that we aim to answer all questions asked. So it's not just about teaching you sharpening from like a separate standpoint. It's also about the interaction for you guys to be able to ask those questions and get a live answer from Jared. It's more of the platform to do that than compared to these lives. Obviously, we answer questions here, but it's much harder when it's narrowed down to just the members. I literally hone in on the computer and try to relay every question to Jared, which he tries to answer. So
yeah, I do my best to try to answer in a way that anybody who also is wondering the same thing will understand. And because I understand what it's like, because I've been there where I'm wanting a specific answer on like a sharpening question, and when you get the answer, it's so general, it makes it to where it's like that doesn't explain it at all to me. It's like I understand needing something not dumbed down, but talk to in a way from a point of view of not understanding it at all. And that's what I try to do. Dukes of Hazzard with another 10 bones. Also, Saturday nights are a banger for content, and the chat after the liquid courage is flowing. Thank you for the donation. So we are going to end it here, guys. Jared rules at explaining things. Thank you, Papa. I appreciate that, man, because I do my best.
You do rule.
Shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for all the support. Thank you guys for all the donations. Thank you guys for all becoming members that you guys did, and all the people that donated members. We do appreciate all the support and love. Tomorrow we have the Bag Gang Live, 12:15 Central Time. Patreons, look forward to the MSI and Stitch giveaway coming up here pretty soon. We love you guys. Peace.